for today's Cape Cod Baseball League game between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and your Katuitt Cavaliers, celebrating their 68th consecutive season of baseball in the nation's most prominent summer baseball league.
Test, test. Check, check. Yep, I can hear me.
From Mississippi State, Matt Britton. Number 13 from Florida State, Alex Bird. Number 27 from Central Michigan, Nick Deeg, warming up down in the bullpen. Number 32 from LSU, Jarrett DeHart. Number 20 from Florida State, Ben DeLuzio. Number 10, North Florida, Johnny DeWeese. Number 37 from Missouri, Peter Fairbanks. Number 33 from Tulane, Ian Gavone. Number 23 from Michigan State, Cam Gibson. Number 2 from New Mexico, Sam Haggerty.
Alright, I don't know. The computer's not working. I'm trying to figure this out. But, test? Yo.
Gulf State Junior College, 21. Casey Schroeder.
In 3.
Shortstop from San
Who's just
Diego,
playing?
Kyle Holder.
2,
From Florida Gulf Coast, number 25.
1.
Colton Bonham.
I think we got it.
Yeah.
It's echoey though.
I hear it too. Why is it like that?
I don't know.
28.
.2014 Kettleers Kettleers baseball hits the air in 3.
2, 1.
Wiseman hits that out into deep right field. Pickens goes back on it. He's at the wall. Good! A 3-run bomb by Rhett Wiseman. And this game is tied at 7-1. Stubbs is going to send that one into right field. And the Kettleers will live to see another day. Game 3 is tomorrow.
2014 Kettleers baseball plays here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Now with the Kettleers warm-up, here's Greg Moroz.
It's opening day here at Lowell Park as it's Game 2 of the 2014 Barnstable Patriot Cup as the Hyannis Harbor Hawks are set to square off with the Kettleers. Hello there, everybody, alongside Brendan Glasheen. My name is Greg Moroz. Brendan, well, first of all, welcome to the booth here at the Arnold Mycock Press Box. It's the first time that you've been in here today, but unfortunately, we're going to have to take a break for the national anthem right now, but let's have you listen to some Hot Off the Kettle. Jake Fincher joined us on the pregame earlier today.
See which Kettleer is heating up on today's edition of Hot Off the Kettle with Greg Moroz.
Welcome into opening day home edition of Hot Off the Kettle. I'm Greg Moroz alongside Kettleer returner Jake Fincher. Jake, first of all, welcome back to the Cape League. And there was a bit of a surprise for you coming back here. Obviously, you weren't expected to come back here this season, but now that you're here, what's the feeling like opening day as a defending champion?
It's a really cool day to be out here just after we won that championship. That was a real fun year, and it's just feels good to be back here and just playing baseball, what I do.
How do you sort of wipe the brain of last year's success and reorient yourself on the goals that you have ahead this summer?
Just try to get better every day is really all you can do, and worry about that stuff. Just get us into the playoffs, then we'll worry about playing well in the playoffs like we did and kind of getting on a streak again. But we're just trying to get better every day and stay focused on what we're trying to do to improve our game and stuff like that.
Last night you went 1-for-1 with an opposite field single. Was it good to get back out and on the field? Obviously you didn't start because of the turnaround from when you got here, but are you starting to feel a little bit comfortable after the layoff from the end of the college season?
Yeah, and I think last summer being up here, just I kind of know what's going on and the deal with every field and all that, and just being a Kettleer. So I've done it once, so it's good to get back and just kind of used to it a little bit already.
Your 2013 Kettleer teammate and your NC State teammate, Logan Ratledge, he's in Bourne now. Have you guys talked about what the experience is going to be like being apart this summer? Because obviously you were hoping to be with him. That was not the case. But have you talked to him at all about what it's going to be like not being double teammates again?
Yeah, it's going to be a little weird because we've played together forever. But I don't know. It's not that different. I think we can use a little time apart just because I think we've been together we played Little League together and all that stuff. So I think we'll be all right, but it'll be fun to play against them.
What have you gotten to know about these guys, these particular guys so far? How do you think you're gelling?
Good. I mean, we got a good team, a lot of fun guys. Just keep it where you can come to the ballpark every day and have some fun. So I think the team's like that right now.
Attitude pretty good even after the loss?
Yeah, we felt confident that we just left some guys on base and we kind of lost the game ourselves and didn't really play ourselves out of it like defensively or anything. That just got to get some guys in and I think we'll be all right.
Final question, you're in the starting lineup tonight. How special is it going to be when you come up to the plate as the first time you step back to the plate at Lowell Park since last year?
Well, that'll be cool just getting back here in front of these fans that are so loyal out here in Cotuit, so that'll be a cool moment.
Jake, it's going to be fun. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
That was Jake Fincher here on the Kettleers warm-up. We'll be back with more right after this. It's time for the Roberts Report on the Kettleers warm-up. Standing by with Mike Roberts, here's Brendan Glasheen.
Kettleers warm-up rolls on, now joined by head coach Mike Roberts for Roberts Report. Coach, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Well, today you're back here at Lowell Park. It's been 10 months, opening day last night, but just kind of your opening thoughts about being back here at Lowell Park.
Well, we always enjoy playing here. They threw a doubleheader in on us this year, so we don't get 22 home gates. We only get 21. But we enjoy every home day that we get the opportunity to play here because this is the most beautiful field, in my opinion, in the Cape, and I think most people feel that way, so it's always fun to play.
The Kettleers dropped to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks last night 3-2, but Coach, saw some great pitching out of some guys yesterday. Daniel Lewis and Jeff Kinley were terrific, as well as Trey Wingetter. Just talk about your reaction to some of the plays that went on yesterday.
Well, you used the word terrific. I used the word they were okay, but they need to be more polished, and that's what we work on all summers. How do you polish? It's just like yesterday. We had a couple walks, had a couple hit batsmen, and you want to clean all that stuff up because when you look out the scoreboard at the end of the game, you want no errors, and you want to look at the scorebook, no walks and no hit batsmen, and when you do that, you probably won the ball game. Was it frustrating the amount of guys left on base when you guys had situations offensively later in the game where you had opportunities to score runs? Well, I don't get frustrated with it. You have to execute. The game of baseball is, you get one pitch you may be able to execute on, and so I mean that's part of playing the game. Where I want us to really do a good job is in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning when we're in 1-1 games. We need to find a way to win it. It's my responsibility to do that and to try to show them a way to get that done. And yesterday I didn't do a very good job of doing that. Coach Mike Roberts joining us here on the Kettleers warm-up for the Roberts Report. Coach, today you send Matt Vogel to the mound. Expectations for him today on the bump? I really don't have any because it's hard to have expectations when you've seen a guy throw one inning. You just put these young men out there. I work with them in the bullpen. I've worked with Matt just a little bit. And then we just kind of see how they react when it comes to game situations. And so Matt has a good arm, but when you look back at South Carolina this spring, I think he threw 6 innings. So I don't have any expectations. I just want to see what he has the ability to do and then go back to the bullpen and work on it. And finally, it must be an exciting feeling being back here at Lowell Park. You're going to see all these fans trying to defend the 2013 Cape League title. You have these new renovations here. How excited are you to see the Lowell Park fans back today? Well, we always love our fans. I mean, our fans the fan base has grown over the last 10 years that I've been here. I think today the most enjoyable aspect really outside of just playing the game itself, each play is saying thanks to everybody who has worked on these renovations the last 2 years with the restrooms and the concessions and the courtyard and now the new dugouts and the new stands. I mean, it's taken just a lot of people to get this accomplished, and this it's ready to go. And literally 2 hours ago, Ward Dunning and a couple people were still working on getting the nets up over the dugouts in front of the stands. So I think we're happy that that's finished and ready to play, and a lot of details to still work on over the next few days. But it's always a fun day at Lowell Park. Okay, Coach, we'll have fun and have fun with it today. All right, thank you. Okay, head coach Mike Roberts joining us on the Kettleers warm-up. Coming up next, we'll have lineups as well as the pitching matchup for today's game. Kettleers warm-up rolling on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
It's time for Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Now with lineups and first pitch, here's Greg Mraz.
Welcome back here to the Kettleers warm-up. We are just a few minutes away from getting started here, getting the home season underway. Apologize for some of the technical difficulties that we've had here, and also apologize for the break during the national anthem. But I'm Greg Mraz alongside Brendan Glasheen. And Brendan, last night in Hyannis, Cotuit had lots of opportunities to score, left 5+ men on base in the last 3 innings. That's not a number that you like to see if you're any baseball coach at any level.
Yeah, 13 total left on base, Greg, and those 7, 8, and 9 innings, you really need production from your guys, especially in a one-run game in which you're trying to pull out a ball game in any situation, and those are the games that hurt the most. Of course, you have games throughout the season where you get blown out or you blow up another opponent, but when you lose a one-run game, when you had so many chances, double digits in the hit column, and then only produce 2 runs offensively, it becomes difficult, I'd say, in execution lacking for Coach Mike Roberts in Game 1.
And the pitching matchup tonight, our pitching matchup tonight, is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Zeros and donuts are just the same. A pitcher gets a strikeout, and that's an over for the batter. Cape Cod runs on strikeouts, and they also run on Dunkin'. You get Matthew Vogel, the right-hander from South Carolina. As Coach Roberts said in the Roberts report, really not much on him so far. An 0-1 record with a 6.91 ERA. Only pitched 14 1/3 innings this year. Meanwhile, on the other side, Nick Deeg, a guy from Central Michigan who throws 4 pitches this season, went 5-4 with a 4.08 ERA, and it's basically a matchup of a guy who's pitched a lot in the form of Nick Deeg versus a guy who really hasn't pitched much at all in Matthew Vogel.
Yeah, with Vogel, he only threw 1 inning this past weekend against Lexington Blue Sox, an exhibition play for the Kettleers, and I'm interested to see how powerful this slider is. The scouting report reads he has a good fastball, a solid changeup, but a power slider. Not just a slider that can move, but also has some pop to it with the speed in between a changeup and a fastball. Just how good is this slider?
Nick Deeg, before the game, we were told, has 4 pitches, a fastball, changeup, curveball, slider, but his slider is a little bit like a slurve ball, so you're going to probably see him use that in 2-strike situations to possibly keep Kettleer hitters off balance. But more than anything, Brendan, I think it's just important to, tonight, get runners on and be able to get them in. We said before the game last night, Coach Roberts' philosophy, get them on, get them over, get them in. They got them on, they got them over, but they did not get them in.
Yeah, you'd love to see the same production from the top of the order. Jamison Fisher in the leadoff spot tonight for the Kettleers. Went 2 for 5 in the game yesterday. D.C. Arendis playing second base. Not only did he stand out with his glove, he had 3 hits as well, and Logan Taylor contributed with 2 base hits. Let's see if the Kettleers not only can get on base and produce singles, but get some extra base hits. Get in scoring position a lot easier than having to steal or get down bunts or sacrifice flies. They had a lot of sacrificing last night, but like you said, you get them on, now it's time to get them in.
And it's now time for the starting lineups presented by the Chatham Bars Inn. Hey, you want to spend a night at the Chatham Bars Inn? They're celebrating their 100th anniversary. Here's how Chad Gassman's going to line them up today for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Cam Gibson will lead off again and play center. Kyle Servance will play left and hit second. Daniel Keeley's in right tonight. He'll hit third. Bobby Melly will clean up and play first. Donnie DeWeese is a designated hitter. He will hit fifth. Sam Haggerty back in the 6th hole. He's playing second. Dalton Britt at short. He's hitting 7th. Matt Britton at third base. He'll hit 8th. And batting 9th is the catcher, number 25, Arden Pabst. And on the bump is the right-hander from Central Michigan, number 27, Nick Deeg. And now the starting lineup for the Cotuit Kettleers is managed by head coach Mike Roberts. Jamison Fisher will lead it off and play first. Jake Fincher in the starting lineup tonight. He's out in center field and hitting second. Logan Taylor will hit third and play short. D.C. Arendis will clean up and play second. Caleb Whalen in the 5-hole tonight. He's playing third. Jeremy Taylor's out in left. He'll hit 6th. Colton Bottomley will play right and hit 7th. Casey Schroeder is the designated hitter. He will hit 8th. And batting 9th is the catcher, number 20, Ian Rice. And on the mound today, the rising sophomore from South Carolina, number 33, Matthew Vogel. And now, for the defensive alignments, here's Brendan Glasheen.
Left to right in the outfield for the Kettleers, Jeremy Taylor, Jake Fincher, Colton Bottomley. Left to right in the infield, Caleb Whalen, Logan Taylor, D.C. Arendis, and Jamison Fisher. And doing the catching today for Matt Vogel is Ian Rice.
And the umpires for tonight's game are brought to you by Friendly's Ice Cream because, well, we hope they're friendly to us. At home plate, Roger Sariva. At first base, Rudy Fernbach. And at third, Tim Carey. And as Cam Gibson steps in, it's time to get the home slate underway here at Lowell Park. Vogel gets the sign from Rice. The wind, kick, and deliver. First pitch is a fastball taken on the low outside corner for strike one.
Clocked in at 92. An outstanding fastball on the scouting report for Mr. Vogel.
Vogel sets up with a 45-degree angle at his setup. 0-1 is fouled back into the parking lot over towards the cars near the gravel, just a little bit off to the third base side. And Gibson quickly down to the count 0-2. Last night, Cam Gibson had himself a night. He got the game-winning RBI, but it was on a walk last night. Gibson was 0 for 2, but had a walk and an RBI, as we said. Infield is back at all spots. Fincher shaded just a little bit to the left of center. 0-2 poked down the line, just foul. A lunging swing there by Cam Gibson. And it goes over the head of third base coach Chad Gassman. And the count remains 0-2.
And Gibson did not have a hit in yesterday's game. Struck out once in the fourth inning. And again, that RBI walk ended up being the difference in the ball game. I'm sure he won't mind the stat. It doesn't hurt the average, but it also helps the RBI column.
0-2 on the way again from Vogel. Change up this time, misses high and away. Count to 1-2 on the center fielder from Michigan State. His college teammate was the one who walked him in last night, Jeff Kinley, the Spartan closer. 1-2 on the way from Vogel. Swing and a miss. Fastball on the inner half. And Gibson swung right through it, one away.
Vogel, at points in this at-bat, decided to go outside. We saw a few times Cam Gibson poking it, just getting a piece on the outer half of the plate. This time Vogel goes inside corner, and Gibson swings right through it. A good start for Matthew Vogel.
First appearance of the season for the left fielder, Kyle Cervantz. Hit .308 with a team leading 78 hits at Houston this season. Houston was eliminated in the regionals. First pitch, strike. Tailing fastball just catches the outer corner. 0-1 the count on Cervantz. Righty-lefty matchup. The kick in the 0-1 from Vogel shows bunt, and it goes off the barrel, ricochets near the third base dugout, hits the bricks, and comes back. First time we've seen a renovated Lowell Park. New grandstands and dugouts put in during the offseason, and because of the weather, they were just able to finish the project about 2 hours before game time. 0-2 on the way from Vogel. Fastball high and in. That one clocked at 94. So Vogel turning up the gas a little bit here against Cervantz. Vogel sets at the belt, gets the sign from Rice. Rice sets to the outside. 1-2 breaking ball. That was a major hook there. And Brendan, like you were talking about, that was sort of that combination curveball slider that had the speed of a curveball but had the break of a slider.
That's right, and wondering now what Vogel goes with here. Another lefty. Does he go back inside with the fastball?
2-2 on the way. Fastball high and away. And the count goes to full 3-2. On deck is Daniel Keeley, who had an RBI last night for Hyannis.
And Cervantz, a guy you don't want to see on base. First time for a Cougar since Michael Bourne in 2002 to have at least 31 bases in a season. Had a tremendous year at Houston this past year.
Payoff on the way from Vogel. Fastball misses high and away. And like you said, you don't want to put him on. Michael Bourne was a very fast runner. Still is center fielder for the Cleveland Indians. And now you've got Cervantz on for a very dangerous Daniel Keeley. Keeley, the right fielder from Wichita State. Last night he had a single and an RBI, went 1 for 4. Keeley started in left field last night for the Hyannis Harborhawks. Righty-righty matchup. Fisher holding on. The runner at first, fastball high, throw down to second base, not in time. Stolen base for Kyle Cervantz. Went on the first pitch.
picking up right where he left off in his college days with Houston. 31 stolen bags, as we said, in the regular season with Houston this past year. And swipes second on the first pitch. Actually a good pitch for the Kettleers to possibly throw him out, but Rice's throw too late.
Servance dancing around at second. 1-0 on the way to Keeley. Swing and a miss. Cutting fastball in the high part of the zone at the letters. Count even up at 1. And Servance, a guy that he didn't really need that big of a jump. He went right on the pitch, and he just darted down to second. The throw was decent, but it was about 2 steps late. 1-1, look out. Curveball that sails over the head of Daniel Keeley. And that's one where you just lose the grip on the baseball. It goes back to the screen, counted a wild pitch, and Servance moves to third. You've got a runner 90 feet away with less than 2 outs.
If you're Keeley, all you're looking for here is just to put the ball in play, as now the corners and the rest of the infield moves in for the Kettleers. Logan Taylor and D.C. Arendis now moving to the lip of the grass in the infield. But any sort of way for Keeley to find the outfield is the goal here.
Infield is completely in. 2-1 on the way. Fastball misses high. Count goes to 3-1. Bobby Melly, the Hyannis native, on deck, and Mike Roberts will trot out to the mound to have a chat with Matthew Vogel. And you see this a lot during the season. Cotuit does not carry a specific pitching coach because Mike Roberts has worked with pitchers so long that he has the knowledge and expertise to be able to transform guys. You've seen so many success stories. One guy in particular that was just drafted in the 5th round by the Detroit Tigers is Vanderbilt right-hander Adam Ravenel. And last year, if Ravenel was doing something that Coach didn't like, he'd go out and talk to him, and sometimes he wouldn't even hesitate to pull him if he wasn't doing the right mechanics. And Ravenel, as a result, became a much better pitcher at a sub-2 ERA this year at Vanderbilt. And subsequently, if you're a pitcher drafted in the top 5 rounds, you've done something right.
And that's the rapport Coach Roberts has always had. We've talked to him before games, and we understand that after the Kettleers take BP, he's back into that bullpen, not in the dugout, not by the batting cage. He's out to the bullpen working with every single pitcher before every game. He has a dedication and has it down to a science when it comes to pitching off the rubber here at Lowell Park or anywhere.
3-1 on the way. Fastball. Low and into Daniel Keeley. You can tell that Vogel has a variety of speeds on his fastball. It's ranged anywhere from 87 to 94 today. Payoff upcoming to the Wichita State right fielder. Curveball, ring him up, strike 3 called. Beautiful pitch there by Matthew Vogel. Dropped the hammer in on him. Keeley was expecting fastball, strikeout looking. Vogel has 2 outs, both of them strikeouts. 2 away here in the top of the first.
In this strikeout to Keeley on a curveball, the first we saw to Gibson that led off the game, a fastball in on the paint, goes breaking ball here. It's encouraging to see in the first inning that Vogel can not only get guys out on strikes, but use different pitches for that put-out pitch.
Here's Bobby Melly, first pitch swinging, skies it to left. Jeremy Taylor fades towards the left field line. He'll settle under it and make the catch, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. A runner stranded 90 feet away. We'll head to the bottom of the first with the Kettleers coming to bat.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. Bottom of the first here, Jamison Fisher, Jake Fincher, and Logan Taylor due up here against the left-hander, I should say, from Hyannis, number 27, Nick Deeg. And now for the defensive alignment, here's Brendan Glasheen.
Left to right in the outfield for the Harbor Hawks, Kyle Cervantz, Cam Gibson, and Daniel Keeley. Left to right in the infield, Matt Britton, Dalton Britt, Sam Haggerty, and Bobby Melly. Doing the catching today for Nick Deeg is Arden Pabst.
And here's Jamison Fisher to face the lefty Nick Deeg. Coming into his freshman campaign, was rated the number 2 pitching prospect in the state of Michigan. First pitch swinging, Fisher grounds it to the second baseman Haggerty, gobbles it up, 1 pitch, 1 out, here in the bottom of the first.
We noticed a similar approach in yesterday's game in the first inning, and for many of the beginning innings, Greg, the Kettleers going after that first pitch, or at least the second pitch, in many of those at-bats. Fisher's still able to knock in 2 hits for the Kettleers in yesterday's game, but an aggressive approach early on. It's trending in Game 2.
Here's Jake Fincher batting in his customary number 2 hole. Takes the first pitch from Nick Deeg, a strike on the outside half. 0-1 the count. Fincher was 1 for 1 yesterday with a pinch hit single. 0-1 pitch is in the dirt. Slider at 83. Count even up at 1-1. Fincher out of North Carolina State hit .267 this season for the NC State Wolfpack. 1-1 count, swing and a miss. Fastball on the low half, outer corner. Fincher down on the count 1-2.
And Greg, you were able to speak with Mr. Fincher prior to today's game. Of course, he's back soaking in Lowell Park, a returner, 2013 Cape League All-Star.
Fincher laces that one out in the left center field. That's a base hit. It'll fall right in front of the left fielder, Cervantz. So a 1-out single for Jake Fincher, and Fincher is 2 for 2 on the season. That'll bring up Logan Taylor.
And what a luxury it is to have a guy like Jake Fincher back, maybe give some molding and some learning experience to these younger guys. And being a junior, we talked with Mike Roberts about Jake last night prior to the game against Hyannis at McKeon Park. His feelings about Jake being back, and of course he wants to see a big year from him because he doesn't want to put a summer to waste. He would like to see him get signed throughout the year. A solid single found left field as opposed to right field in yesterday's game.
First pitch breaking ball to Logan Taylor is taken low for ball 1. Taylor had himself a good game yesterday for the Kettleers. Singled in the first, singled in the fourth, reached on an error in the 8th. 1-0, sky to right, going back on it, Keeley about 5 steps to his left. He'll throw it back in, 2 away. Fincher retreats to first.
In the cleanup spot from South Carolina, the second baseman.
That'll bring up D.C. Arendis, who had a 4 for 5 game yesterday, and that's the way you want to start your Cape League season. Correction, he was 3 for 4. Lefty-lefty matchup. Fincher's going. A pitch is hit through the hole between third and short. The shortstop, Britt, went over to the second base bag. Fincher stops at third. A 2-out single for D.C. Arendis. And if Dalton Britt was not going over to cover second on the hit and run, more than likely that's the 3rd out of the inning.
And usually most head managers go with the shortstop with a lefty batting to cover second base on a stolen base, and that time it comes back to bite you. You find the hole, and Arendis is able to move Jake Fincher first to third. Terrific placement. I'm sure he tried to get it there and hits it the other way, and it works out. First and third now for the Kettleers.
So here's Caleb Whalen. First pitch fastball, skied out of play to the right side. 0-1 the count on the third baseman from the University of Portland. Yesterday, he was 0 for 4 batting in the leadoff spot. Started at first and eventually moved over to the third base. He is starting at third today. Deeg, he's got the runner picked off. Throw to Melly, and they've got D.C. Arendis in a rundown. Fincher's going to come in and score. And Arendis is still in a rundown. He's retreating to first. Now he heads back to second base, and he is tagged out. They're going to say that the run scored. So what a nifty piece of base running by Jake Fincher. D.C. Arendis caught in a rundown, but doesn't matter. Kettleers take a 1-0 lead We're through one here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. There are big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the balsamic grilled chicken or the tender and juicy top sirloin steak. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Five, 6, and 7 due up here for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in the top of the second inning against Matthew Vogel. Kettleers scored a run on a very odd sequence. A rundown ensued with D.C. Arendis and allowed Jake Fincher to score from third. First pitch to Donnie DeWeese, hits off the mound. Going back is the second baseman, D.C. Arendis. Throw is offline, but they're going to call that an infield single. Odd bounce off the Donnie DeWeese first pitch hit. Hit off of the dirt, bounced straight up in the air. Arendis went to his backhand, tried to get it, kept the ball from going to the outfield, but had no chance to get DeWeese heading down the first base line.
In yesterday's game, we saw a similar play by Arendis. Went to the backhand, but it was a lot more playable. It was in front of the second base bag, just by the lip of the grass at McKeon Park, and he made the play. This time he has to pull the first baseman, Jamison Fisher, off the bag. An infield single easily for Deuce.
Sam Haggerty takes a first pitch ball on the outside. Caleb Whalen was expecting bunt. Haggerty showed bunt but pulled back. Fisher holding on. Donnie DeWeese at first, the designated hitter from North Florida. Only about a 3-step lead. Pick off to first. Nothing is on though. Haggerty, the speedy second baseman. A lot of speed up and down this lineup. For the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, he was 1 for 4 yesterday with a double and a run scored. Pickoff again, and DeWeese back safely. Opening day here at Lowell Park. The Kettleers are on their second game of a 44-game quest as that pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. First game, obviously, last night against these same Harbor Hawks. But the home opener, always a special one, and one of the biggest crowds all season. Vogel in the stretch, 1-1, breaking ball misses high. Count to 2-1 on Sam Haggerty.
And, of course, the camera angles we have here at Lowell Park doesn't necessarily paint the picture of these beautiful new stands and dugouts we talked about earlier on in the broadcast, but a picture of the 2013 team holding the trophy posted up on the wall by the dugout.
2-1, sliced foul over towards the bullpen, right over those new third base grandstands. Did a lot of work on those in the off-season. We thank all Kettleer fans and Kettleer supporters who made their donations in order to make this project possible. It was quite a long project, but it's been completed and it looks beautiful. 2-2 on the way. Haggerty lunges at it again and fouls out of play once again. Count remains at 2-2.
And with the expansion of these bleachers, it looks like more fans are going to have opportunities for some foul ball snagging.
The bleachers are much higher on the third base side than they used to be. They have not started yet on the bleachers down the first base side. Those remained the same from last season, but both dugouts are brand new. They are deeper. And they have white erase boards now for starting lineups and any other message you can think of to be written on there. 2-2. Slider misses in the dirt. Nice job by Ian Rice blocking that one. And the count goes to full at 3-2.
And I'm sure head coach Mike Roberts wouldn't mind writing some team motivational messages on there in case anything needs to be said.
Pickoff again to first, and DeWeese back safely. North Florida, the College of Donnie DeWeese, home of the Ospreys. Notable alumni, Sarah Walsh of ESPN and SportsCenter fame. Payoff on the way. Haggerty pops it up to the shortstop. Settling under it and making the catch is Logan Taylor, and that's the first out of the second.
Shortstop from Liberty, number 26.
That will bring up Dalton Britt. Britt yesterday gave the Kettleers some fits. That's for sure. He had a broken bat bloop double down the right field line. He was 2 for 4 with a run scored, a double in the third, a single and a stolen base in the fourth. He also flew out to right and grounded out to second. The left-handed hitting Liberty shortstop, first pitch, fastball, outer corner, strike one called.
And Britt also had 9 putouts yesterday at shortstop, whether it was a flip to second, a throw to second, a pop out, a throw across the diamond to first, was all over the place defensively at that shortstop position.
Vogel in the stretch, the 0-1. Change-up misses high and outside. Count even at 1.
And probably something he didn't expect going into the game, given the amount of lefties Mike Roberts threw at the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in yesterday's ball game.
I think that this Hyannis roster is just loaded with a lot of left-handed hitters. I don't think there's any way of beating around that bush, though. So you've seen a lot of guys already. Gibson, Servance, Keeley, the right-handed hitter, but then you got Melly, DeWeese, Haggerty, now Dalton Britt. Runner going, pitch is taken low, and now the runner, Donnie DeWeese, is caught in a rundown. Fisher has the ball, and he eventually tags out Donnie DeWeese, so a good job on the pickoff there by Matt Vogel.
Interesting, DeWeese was in the middle of the base path, almost saying, well, now what do I do? Do I go back to first or I go to second? He was at the 50-50 mark of that sprint from first to second and decides to hesitate, and good recognition by Rice to throw it down, and they got him in a rundown and recorded the out.
2-1 on the way. Britt hits that one towards the third baseman, Whalen. Dug out in the hole, fire across. Nice play. Vogel has faced just one over the minimum. A pickoff attempt at second saves him a base runner. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Kettleers still lead this one 1-0. You're locked into Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together two of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
5, 6, and 7 due up here in the bottom of the second against the left-hander from Central Michigan, Nick Deeg, Caleb Whalen, Jeremy Taylor, and Colton Bottomley. Caleb Whalen stepped to the plate in the bottom of the first, but after that pickoff sequence, he had to retire to the dugout. First pitch swinging, skies it to shallow right. Coming in on it is Keeley. He'll settle under it, make the catch, and for the second straight inning, the first batter of the inning is retired on just one pitch.
That's right. It's been a sequence we've both noticed these last handful of games, really just 1+, but Kettleers aggressive out of the gate in the batter's box and want to get that first pitch, and sometimes they always say the first pitch is the best pitch of an at-bat.
Jeremy Taylor steps in, first pitch strike, taking on the low inside corner, 0-1. Taylor yesterday did not have a hit, but had a sacrifice and reached on a pair of walks. 0-1, Taylor tries to bunt, but pulls back, count even up at 1. Deek's fastball has been ranging from 87 to 89 here in the early going, and his slider is about 82 to 84. There's that slide piece. Catches the low inside corner on the left-handed hitting Taylor. 1-2 the count on the sophomore from East Tennessee State. Deeg working quickly now. Taylor pulls that one. Keeley running over. That's not going to fall. Or it is going to fall, I'm going to say. Keeley's not going to catch it. 1-out single for Jeremy Taylor, and he's got his first hit of the Cape League season.
Jeremy Taylor had a walk in yesterday's game, but didn't have a chance to show off the stick, and this time he throws the bat out on the outside part of the plate and pulls it to right just in front of Keeley. And Keeley's been busy out there in right field tonight for the Harbor Hawks thus far, and Kettleers finding the holes in right field and keeping Keeley on his toes.
Pick off to first, but nothing doing. Jeremy Taylor is a prolific base stealer. This season at East Tennessee State had 12 bases stolen. In 2013, he had 20. First pitch to Colton Bottomley is taken low and in for ball 1. Colton Bottomley starting out in right field tonight. Hit .328 on the season for Florida Gulf Coast with a .397 OBP. 6 home runs. He drove in 25. 1-0, that one hit out in the left center field gap. On his horse is Gibson. He's not going to get it. Taylor around second. That one goes to the wall. Gibson relays it in. The throw to second base, not in time. A 1-out double for Colton Bottomley, and that was a no-doubter the moment it left the bat.
First extra base hit of the season for the Kettleers with 1 down in the second inning. Bottomley, his first start of the year, his first at-bat, shoots the gap in left field. Good awareness by Coach Roberts to hold up Jeremy Taylor at third base with less than 2 outs in the game. Nice piece of hitting from Bottomley finding that gap.
Here's Casey Schroeder. Schroeder was 0 for 2 yesterday, struck out in the second, and flew out to left in the fourth. Schroeder shows bunt, pulls back. Arden Pabst wanted to throw down to third, but Matt Britton, the third baseman, wasn't covering, and Jeremy Taylor retreats back to the third base bag. Really nice job by Cam Gibson out in center field, getting to that ball quickly. Because if he had not gotten to it as quickly as he did, Taylor probably would have scored from first. 1-0 on the way. Schroeder chops that one down the third baseline foul. Count even at 1-1. Schroeder from Polk State, the same school as his Kettleer teammate Daniel Sweet. He was tied for the team lead this season with Sweet in home runs and triples at Polk State JC. Schroeder push bunt down the first base line, but Melly picks it up in foul ground. And boy, oh boy, had that one stayed fair, that would have been a perfect bunt, but he hit it just a little bit too hard.
Schroeder does not have a lot of power with just the 3 home runs, but interesting call from Coach Mike Roberts. Now he's got to swing the stick with 2 strikes. The corners still remain even with the bag, though, for Hyannis.
Wild pitch. Jeremy Taylor's going to trot home. Moving to third is Colton Bottomley. A wild pitch, a way wild pitch by Nick Deeg. And the Kettleers take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. And that was a pitch that went at least 2 feet over the glove and at least 3 feet outside of Arden Pabst, the Hyannis catcher. 2-2 upcoming. Chopped foul back towards the screen. Schroeder looked like he lost his balance. Count remains at 2-2. On deck is the catcher from Chipola Junior College, Ian Rice. Kettleers lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the second. Both runs have scored on balls not put in play. 2-2, look out. Fastball towards the helmet of Casey Schroeder, but he ducks down out of the way, and the count goes to full 3-2.
Not often do you see early runs scored in baseball games on 2 non-hit baseballs.
That's a rarity, that's for sure. Payoff coming to Schroeder. Broken bat, look out. The ball goes foul. but the bat flies right to the shortstop, Dalton Britt. He nonchalantly picks it up and walks it to Tim Carey, the third base umpire.
Hope Schroeder isn't the next Logan Ratledge letting go of the bat, as he did a lot of the times at the Kettleers last year.
And now you're hearing the audio of the great Ivan, who was such a staple at Kettleers games for many a year. Last year was the first year he wasn't able to come, and he would always sit right by the Kettleers dugout and shout, "Have a hit." Schroeder takes the 3-2 pitch and fouls it straight back to the screen. I never got to know Ivan. My broadcast partner from last year and of the previous 3 years, Seth Bernstein, got to know Ivan a little bit. Ivan, unfortunately, is not able to make it to the games anymore, but his have a hit call, as you just heard over the PA, if you are listening to our effects mic, certainly brings back memories. 3-2, swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup. 8-pitch at bat, but eventually Casey Schroeder loses the battle, and there's 2 away here in the bottom of the second.
First strikeout for Nick Deeg this afternoon. Goes with the changeup, as you said, Greg, and it dips low in the zone, and Schroeder can't put any wood on it. Swings right through it.
That will bring up Ian Rice, the catcher from Chipola Junior College, transferring to Houston next season. First pitch lopes it down the left field line, but it's well foul. Rice did get a plate appearance yesterday. Came in as a pinch hitter for Casey Schroeder. He struck out to lead off the top of the 7th. 0-1 from Deeg. Fastball misses outside. Count even up at 1. Colton Bottomley remains on third base. Slightly open stance for Rice. 1-1 on the way. Changeup misses low and in. Counts 2-1. Deeg's thrown a good amount of pitches thus far. He's had to labor a little bit in these first 2 innings. 2-1 on the way to Rice. That one hit up the middle. That's a base hit. Coming in to score is Colton Bottomley. Ian Rice has his first hit of the season, but more importantly, the Kettleers extend their lead. It's now 3-0 Katuitt here in the bottom of the second.
Rice was a huge RBI machine for Chipola Junior College last year, transferring to Houston very soon. 51 RBIs on the year, picking up where he left off. A solid year, hitting over 330 for the Indians. Comes through here with a 2-out hit. Always great to see the 9-hole hitter coming through.
And the first pitch, a curveball to Jamison Fisher, and that hits him on the right elbow. So Fisher walks down to first on the hit by pitch, and that will bring up Jake Fincher. So runners at first and second with 2 outs. Recap the inning for you here real quickly, friends. Caleb Whalen flew out to right. Then Jeremy Taylor singled to right. Colton Bottomley hit a gapper to the left center field gap. Taylor went to third. First pitch on the way to Fincher. Fastball taken on the outside corner for strike 1. Schroeder struck out. And then Rice singled up the middle, scoring Colton Bottomley, and then Jamison Fisher hit on the inside curveball. Fincher shows bunt, pulls back. Curveball misses well inside. Count even at 1-1. It's been an overcast day here pretty much the entire afternoon. Time is called, and there will be a meeting on the mound between Arden Pabst and Nick Deeg.
The 1-1 situation, and Fincher batting, already 2 for 2 in the season with another base hit. Scored the first run of the game for the Kettleers. 3-0 lead in just 5 hits. And finally, Greg, we see a run come in for Katuitt on a hit baseball.
You know what they always say, though, Brendan? There are no pictures on the scorecard, and you'll take runs in any way that you can get them. I remember a game earlier this season, the Oakland Athletics ended up winning a game against the Tampa Bay Rays in which they had 1 hit. It was a Brandon Moss home run. They scored 2 runs on wild pitches, and they won the game 3-1. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay had 8 hits in that game and only scored 1 run. 1-1 on the way. Fincher hits that one up the middle. That's a base hit. Being waved around third is Rice, and now he's going to be held up by head coach Mike Roberts. And you talked about the interview from yesterday with Mike Roberts asking, well, what are we going to expect from Jake Fincher? Well, 3 at-bats, 3 hard-hit balls, and 3 singles, and the bases are loaded for Logan Taylor.
A lot of expectations for Mr. Fincher coming into the season. Of course, his second year here on the Cape. CBL All-Star in 2013. Hit .267 with NC State this past year. And so far, he's making the most of his opportunities, batting in the 2-hole today, 2 for 2, and sets up Logan Taylor here.
First pitch on the way to Texas A&M shortstop, broken bat, looped out to center field. That's a base hit. Coming in to score is Ian Rice. Being waved around as Jamison Fisher. The throw to the plate is in time. What a dart from center field by Cam Gibson. But the run does score, an RBI single for Logan Taylor. Cotuit sends 8 men to the plate in the bottom of the second inning. We'll head to the third. Kettleers lead this one 4-0 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and Barnstable-Mashpee Channel 99.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, 2 of America's favorite pastimes. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technology such as ZigTech, RealFlex, and more. Reebok, live with fire. Happy 100th birthday to the Chatham Bars Inn, one of the world's most honored resorts. The Chatham Bars Inn offers the Cape's finest dining and oceanfront views. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. Welcome back to Lowell Park, a 4-0 lead for the Cotuit Kettleers with Greg Mraz. I'm Brendan Glasheen. The Kettleers send 8 batters in the second inning to the plate, and they come through with 3 runs. A 4-0 lead, 7 hits, 4 runs for Cotuit after its first 2 runs came on non-hit baseballs. Matt Vogel back on the dish. Fires first pitch fastball at 91, just above the head of Matt Britton, the third baseman tonight for Hyannis. Hit .233, a home run, and 13 runs batted in with the Mississippi State Bulldogs this past year. Vogel thrushes his glove down to his belt. He's in the windup, fires. Gets him on a breaking ball, 82. Evens the count 1-1.
And after a bit of butterflies in the first couple of innings, Vogel looks to have really settled down. He seems to have good command of his stuff.
One batter off the norm. This time a slider drops too low behind the ankles. 2-1. 2 strikeouts thus far. He struck out the leadoff hitter Cam Gibson and Daniel Keeley, the 3-hitter. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball upstairs, outside, 3-1.
Both of these guys members of the Southeastern Conference, Mississippi State for Matt Britton and South Carolina for Matt Vogel. So these guys will be seeing a little bit more of each other next year.
3-1 on the way, outside, ball 4. Second walk of the afternoon for Matt Vogel. Brings up Arden Paps, the catcher for the Harbor Hawks.
Sabermetrics state, and we said it last night, that the leadoff walk scores at least 50% of the time, and that's more statistically than the leadoff hit, and you never want to walk the leadoff batter, but unfortunately, Matt Vogel's going to have to deal with another leadoff man aboard for the second straight inning.
Pabst awaits the first pitch. A breaking ball falls inside. A shoot down to second base by Ian Rice. Just gets off the glove of Jamison Fisher. Unable to apply a tag, so Britton is okay at first base. You mentioned Vogel's butterflies getting control. Well, in 14 in the third innings this past year with South Carolina, he walked 11 batters. He's got 2 through 2+ innings. The 0-1 to Pabst, a fastball just inside, 1-1.
Most starting pitchers' whip, you want to keep it under 1.25. Vogel's whip this season was 1.6. So when you think about that, he's averaging over about a hit and a half per inning pitched. A walk or a hit and a half per inning pitched.
Is to the set, fires. Breaking ball again, throw down from Rice. Nothing doing once more. 1-2 the count to Pabst. In the top of the third, a 4-0 lead for Cotuit on opening day here at Lowell Park. Bunch of new renovations finally coming into place. Finished up 2 hours before first pitch. And all the hard work paid off. A cloudy day, though, here in Cotuit. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball dips low, but chopped to the right side, foul by Pabst. Will do 1-2, 1 again. Kettleers hosting 1 of 3 straight games at Lowell Park. Enjoying the home cooking, no question. The Wareham Gatemen come to Lowell Park tomorrow. The 1-2. Up and inside, hits the left shoulder of Pabst, hits the orange part of the sleeve of these bright, brand new Hyannis uniforms. So down to first base goes Pabst. Britton up to second base. First and second, nobody out. Hyannis threatening Cotuit, and it's 4-0 lead.
And now Ian Rice going out to have a talk with Matt Vogel. And Vogel's lost command of the zone here very quickly. And that was a pitch that went really inside really quickly on Arden Pabst. I hope Pabst is all right. It hit him on the left wrist, it looked like. So Rice just trying to settle Matthew Vogel down, and it's a big spot here, Brendan. First and second with nobody out. And a guy up the plate in Cam Gibson, a leadoff hitter and a pretty good bunter.
Gibson could have the bunt sign on. Corners in for the Kettleers. Quarter outfielder in left field, Jeremy Taylor, shallow across the left field line. Vogel has his right hand out of his glove. The glove tucked in by the T in Cotuit on his white jersey. He's to the set. Gives the runner at second, Britton, a look. Squaring around. Gibson pulls away. Ball 1. Recall last year, these two teams, as well as the Bourne Braves, competed in many close games. That's why the Western Division was traded between first, second, and third many times. Could be a scenario here for Hyannis to get back in the game. The 1-0 pitch. It's bunted foul up and over the backstop. Vogel gets a break. It's even 1-1.
And now you wonder, though, in the 1-1 count, does Gibson try and lay one down again? When you're trying to lay down a bunt, Vogel's doing exactly what you're taught to do as a pitcher and try and get the ball a little bit farther up in the zone so that the hitter can't get the barrel down on it.
1-1 the count in this third inning, a 4-0 lead for Cotuit. Matthew Vogel gets the sign from Rice. He's to the set, gives the runner Britton a look at second base. The pitch. Chopped over towards third base. Whalen picks it up, throw across the diamond, it gets away! Going from second to third to home is Matt Britton. Up to second base goes Cam Gibson. Second and third, nobody out, a run is in. Cotuit's lead now to 3. It's 4-1.
And that was a play that, give Caleb Whalen a lot of credit for making the effort on the throw. But Gibson's a pretty fast runner, and it's going to be hard to get him anyway. Obviously, hindsight's 20/20, but that may have been one that Whalen should have seen Gibson going down the line and thought, you know what, maybe I eat this one.
The run comes in, 4-1. The Kettleers lead narrowed down to 3. So mark the error on Caleb Whalen on the throw to Jamison Fisher. Second and third, nobody out, brings up Kyle Servants. First pitch fastball, clocked in at 92 miles per hour. Misses outside, 1-0. Yet another run Greg we see in this ball game scored on really a non-hit. This time an error. This time at least a hit baseball. The 1-0 on the way. Fastball just about the same spot. Outside 2-0.
And Mike Roberts is looking down at the bullpen. Double-barreled action going down there. And he's taking the walk to the mound, and you can always tell his mannerisms that he's going to pull Matt Vogel here in a 2-0 count, although he has not made any indication thus far.
Roberts brings in the entire infield as well as catcher Ian Rice. Has a conversation with Matthew Vogel. He likes to elongate these conversations, obviously, to give the guys some time in the pen to get those last warm-up pitches.
And the guys going down there in the pen, we can't see really clearly, but I know that one of them is the submarine pitcher from the University of Nevada, number 34, Adam Witt. Coach Roberts always likes to have at least one submariner on his staff at a time. Last year, it was Brian Miller.
And Roberts will walk back to the dugout. Vogel's going to stay in the game. He's signaling now down to the bullpen for the possibility of any changes. Gets a head nod and a hand wave from the bullpen coach. And now Vogel is back on. Second and third, nobody out, a 4-1 lead for Cotuit. But Matthew Vogel in trouble. Facing Servants, a 2-0 count, the pitch. Outside again at 83. The slider doesn't break the way he wants. It's 3-0.
I think that if Servants walks here, that Coach Roberts will probably come right back out to the mound and call for one of the two relievers down in the pen.
Vogel at 46 pitches, 47's on the way. 3-0. Fastball, a put-me-over strike on the outside corner at the knees. Hitters count 3-1 to Servants. Servants did not play in yesterday's game. Gets the nod to bat second and play left field for the Harbor Hawks today. Vogel to the set. Fires. Fastball clocked to the right side, but right at Arundis. And he makes the catch.
That was an Adam ball if I've ever seen one. The way it came off the bat, it looked like it was a lot harder hit, but the ball really died mid-flight and just dropped straight down and right into the glove of D.C. Arendis. And now Mike Roberts has made the signal, and he goes with a scooping motion with his right hand, which means it's going to be the submariner, Adam Witt.
We'll get more on Mr. Witt coming up on the other side. Cape Cod Baseball League action is back at Lowell Park. A 4-1 lead for Cotuit. The Fuller family is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League. They sponsor our bullpen change. We'll be back shortly after this. Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our community's customers and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
The Chatham Bar's Inn celebrates its 100th anniversary this year and is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of the leading hotels of the world. For a time you will always remember, visit the Chatham Bar's Inn. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by the Fuller family. The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellence, sportsmanship, and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Adam Witt is now on for Cotuit. The day done, but not just over yet for Matt Vogel because he's responsible for Pabst at third and Cam Gibson at second. The line, though, 2+ innings of work. 2 1/3, struck out 2 and walked 2. And for more on Adam Witt, here's Greg.
Adam Witt, the right-handed submarine pitcher from Carson City, Nevada, out of the University of Nevada, teammates with 2013 Kettleer Austin Byler, a 5-5 record with a 3.71 ERA this past season, 30 appearances that led the team, 53 1/3 innings pitched, 47 hits, 30 runs, 22 of them earned, 54 strikeouts, 22 walks, a 1.29 whip, and a 2.45 strikeout to walk ratio. And as a reliever, he led the team with 10 decisions with a 5-5 record.
His first pitch to Daniel Keeley with a sidearm delivery, hits at 85 on the outside corner to the right-handed hitter. The count 0-1. An innings eater as a member of the Wolfpack of Nevada. Has an open stance on the mound, his right foot out extended, about a 140-degree angle. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, 76, misses outside, 1-1.
Mike Roberts notoriously likes submarine pitchers. Brian Miller was somebody last season with Vanderbilt that went submarine and then also could throw an overhand fastball. And then, funny enough, a player added at the end of the year, Michael Roberts from Coppin State.
Keeley drives it to center field. Fincher's under it. Looking to tag at third base is Babst. But the throw in. Heel scores. The throw goes to third base. And the Hyannis Harbor Hawks have narrowed this lead for Cotuit down to 2. 4-2 Kettleers, 2 down in the third.
And Daniel Keeley did his job. He got a pitch he could hit. He skied it out to center field. Fincher had to go back on it a couple of steps, and good job by Arden Pabst at third to anticipate exactly when the ball was going to come down in Fincher's glove and sprinted for home as soon as the ball hit the leather out in center field.
Pabst scores. And staying at second is Cam Gibson. First pitch to Bobby Melly. Misses, or hits for a strike rather, 0-1. Melly flew to left to Jeremy Taylor in his first at bat. Witt looks in for the sign. Holds his right hand back in the glove. The pitch. Fastball at the belt. He's ahead, 0-2. Witt had 24 appearances in his freshman season with Nevada. Went 1-4 with the save, was in the closer's role for much of the season this past year with Nevada. He's in relief in the third inning for Matthew Vogel. The 0-2 pitch. Foul just got a piece of it as Mealy holds onto the bat and gets back in the box. Rice returns the baseball to Adam Witt. We'll do 0-2 once again.
Good movement being shown on Witt's fastball right now. A submarine fastball has a lot more movement, almost basically the movement of a slider, so it's a lot more difficult for hitters to pick up sometimes.
4-2 Cotuit lead, 0-2 pitch. Hammered over towards right. DC Arendis fields and throws to first to get Cotuit out of the inning. Witt comes in and retires 2 batters. A run charge to Matthew Vogel. He finishes his day allowing 2 runs. A solid relief stint for Adam Witt sends the Cotuit Kettleers to the bottom of the third with a 4-2 lead. You're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
4, 5, and 6 batting for Cotuit. Greg Mraz, Brendan Glasheen on hand. First pitch from Nick Deeg to DC Arendis is a strike. The count 0-1, a lefty-lefty matchup. Deeg lifts the left leg, fires, and it's dropped down the left field line. It stays fair. Britton's throw across the diamond is in time. Rudy Fernbach, the first base coach. An exciting, revealing call to retire Arendis. One down in the bottom of the third.
That was a cue ball like in pool. It went off the very end of the bat. Basically went directly sideways down the third base line. And give Matt Britton a lot of credit for staying with that ball. And the fans didn't like the call at first, but from our vantage point, it looked like Britton got Arendis by about a step.
Here's Caleb Whalen. The Portland Pilot takes a ball outside, 1-0. And Deeg certainly doesn't mind it as his third baseman, Britton, makes the play. Whalen swings through it. It's 1-1. One down in the third inning, a 4-2 Cotuit lead. Kettleers, 7 hits, 4 runs. Hyannis, 1 hit, 2 runs. Whalen just gets a piece of it. It goes foul into the backstop. He's behind 1-2. Gets his sign from Pabst, the pitch. Sky to the right side. Just to the right of the foul grounds. And back in fair territory, Haggerty holds on to make the catch, falling to his left. 2 down. And defensively has been a great inning for Hyannis.
2 fantastic plays, a ground ball, and then a fly ball where Haggerty, Melly, and Keeley all gathered around the right field line. Haggerty eventually backpedaled on it going sideways, did a little backflip as he lost his balance, and held on to the ball for a great catch. Just a fantastic play.
Here's Taylor. He scored on a wild pitch in the second inning. Takes it outside, 1-0. D getting some help defensively from the rest of his Harbor Hawks. A half-hearted swing from Taylor. Shoots it into the backstop just in front of us. Count even at 1-1.
We were told between innings that both runs that Matt Vogel allowed because of the error were unearned.
1-1. He squares around and attempts to drag bunt, but misses it. It's 1-2. Taylor also logged his first Cape Cod Baseball League hit in that second inning. 1-2 pitch. Dribbles it out in front, but it rolls foul towards the Hyannis dugout. 1-2 again. Nick Deeg of Central Michigan. He's not the only Harbor Hawk that's gone from Central Michigan to Hyannis. Dietrich Enns and Jordan Foley, who was just drafted in the 5th round by the Yankees. Grounded towards short. Brick goes on the one hand, fires across in time. A 1-2-3 defensive, impressive defensive efforts from the Harbor Hawks as the Kettleers go down 1-2-3. And it turns out those Harbor Hawks played perfect defense in that inning. We'll go to the top of the 4th. 4-2 Cotuit on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. There are big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the balsamic grilled chicken or the tender and juicy top sirloin steak. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Back at Lowell Park, it's opening night in Cotuit. Kettleers lead the Harbor Hawks 4-2. Greg Moraz with myself, Brendan Glasheen, Adam Witt back out on the mound for Cotuit. First pitch to Donnie DeWeese. This is outside, 1-0. DeWeese singled in the second inning, but eventually was picked off between first and second base. The 1-0 checked his swing, no check down to third base. It's 2-0.
And that was an odd situation where he started to go towards second and then was confused as to whether he should keep going or not, and that's where Rice was able to make a good throw down to first and where they eventually caught him in the rundown.
2-0 pitch, pops outside, 3-0. Witt behind into his first batter of what hopes to be a full inning. 8 pitches deep, the pitch. Finds the zone on the outside corner to the left-handed hitting DeWeese. 3-1.
You want to avoid the leadoff walk. Last inning, the leadoff walk in the form of Matt Britton ended up scoring.
3-1, chopped up the middle. Arendis goes to the backhand and works his way around, but can't pick it up as he fumbles it. So reaching first base is DeWeese. And the Harbor Hawks, just as they did in the third inning, have a leadoff base runner.
And Chad Gassman is talking to the home plate umpire, Roger Saraiva, about something. And they will rule that a hit.
Making a substitution, a pinch runner checks in for Hyannis. And it's DeLuzio. Pitched hit in last night's game as well. Florida State freshman hit .281 with 35 runs, and he led the team with 16 steals and 18 attempts. He's a threat to steal at first base, nobody down in the top of the fourth. Cotuit a 4-2 advantage, but Hyannis slowly climbing their way back to threaten the Kettleers home opener. Witt gets his sign as he faces Sam Haggerty. First pitch. Hammered to right. A long run for Bottomley. He's working his way back. It drops in the gap. DeWeese is being held up at third base. A long turn at second. And they're going to get him with the tag. No, they're not. Haggerty took too big of a turn at second base. Cotuit worked their way back towards the bag to try and tag him. But luckily for Haggerty, he slides in. Second and third. Nobody out. And the tying run is just 180 feet away, and now Dalton Britt a golden opportunity.
And that was a throw that was on line to the point by Colton Bottomley that Logan Taylor had Sam Haggerty right in his grasp, and you see no argument from head coach Mike Roberts, so you know based on Taylor's indication that he definitely did miss the tag.
Tim Carey now issues a warning to head coach Mike Roberts.
Well, I guess he was arguing from the dugout instead, because the conversation going on between Tim Carey and Mike Roberts now is not a friendly one. Let's just put it that way.
Of course, the umpiring crew is brought to you by Friendly's Ice Cream. We always want to have friendly conversations with our umpires.
We want our umpires to be friendly to us, so we should be friendly to the umpires. Have yourself some Friendly's ice cream. Several locations here around the Cape, and you can also pick up a carton of Friendly's at your local grocery store.
Second and third for Hyannis. Nobody out. A single for DeWeese. A double for Haggerty. Brings up Dalton Britt. First pitch swinging. Hammers it outside of the field just in front of the arrow of the parking lot. That escorts the Cotuit fan base. Count 0-1. Britt grounded to third base in his first at-bat to close the second inning. Witt looks in for his sign, holds the glove out in front, now brings it around. The pitch. Out of the crouch is Rice. Evens the count 1-1.
Luke Leftwich was loosening up in the bullpen down the left field line. Went back to grab a baseball, so it looks like he is next in line. The right-hander from Wofford.
Fastball outside. Rice gets it back to Witt. 2-1.
The trend for Witt has been, at least to left-handed hitters, he's tried to work them inside, and lefties have really brought the hands in and driven the ball hard to center and right.
Still nobody out. 2-1 pitch. He doesn't chase. 3-1. Britt, a student at Liberty College, had a big year, hit .299, no homers, 35 runs batted in. Sent Liberty to the South Carolina Regional after the Flames went 23-3 in conference play. The 3-1. Dips too low for ball 4. The base is now juiced full of Harbor Hawks with still nobody out. Katuitt's 4-2 lead could be in jeopardy.
4 base runners tonight for the Harbor Hawks on balls not put in play, and that's not a good number. You already have 3 walks and a hit by pitch through basically just 3 innings. We're in the 4th. And you've had one of those issued in each inning, except for the second. A walk in the first, a walk and a hit by pitch in the third. Both of those runs scored. And then just now, the walk to Dalton Britt.
Witt has 10 strikes and 8 balls to total 18 in his efforts so far. Again, he checked in for Matt Vogel after 2 1/3 innings. Was able to escape with a pair of outs. Both unearned runs charged to Katuitt pitching. Brings in Matt Britton, who walked and led off a big 3rd inning for the Harbor Hawks. Also came around and scored their first run. First pitch at the knees to the lefty. Notches the corner, 0-1. Bases juiced for the 8-hitter for Hyannis. An 0-1 count. Witt looks in for his sign. Kicks and deals. Pop to the left side. Jeremy Taylor ranging in left field. DeWeese is going to tag the throw. No, he objects not to. A smart decision is Jeremy Taylor with a monster throw into Caleb Whalen at third base. And a big first out for Katuitt.
And I think what Taylor did a good job of there is setting himself up in a position when the ball comes into your glove, you're taught to make a quick transfer and have your momentum already starting towards home plate. He made such a good throw to Caleb Whalen that the pinch runner DeLuzio at third probably wouldn't have gotten even halfway down the third baseline before Whalen would have gotten the relay home to Ian Rice.
Brings up Arden Pabst, the Georgia Tech Blue Jacket, with the bases juiced, 1 down. First pitch he sees, he heaves it to the right side, out of play. 0-1. Pabst played in 44 games for Georgia Tech. Started in 38 of them, hit .217 with a home run and 17 RBIs.
You know, at the U.S. Open of Golf this week starting, a notable Georgia Tech alum, the great Southern golfer, the original winner of the Grand Slam, Bobby Jones.
Went to a great first-round pick school, Harvard Westlake. 0-1 pitch, almost the same spot, struck to the right side, foul. Harvard Westlake is the high school of Pabst. It's produced 3 first-round picks in the last 3 years, including Jake Flaherty. This year, Brennan Bosch also played there, and quite something there. 3 first-rounders from a high school team. 0-2 the count to Pabst. With 1 down, bases loaded of Harbor Hawks. A 4-2 lead still holds for Katuitt. Pitch runs outside at 88. The hardest ball we've seen from Witt thus far, 1-2.
Southern California from Los Angeles to San Diego is a factory of high school prospects. Obviously, Brady Aiken from Cathedral Catholic, the same high school in San Diego as former Oakland Athletics and San Francisco Giants left-hander Barry Zito.
DeWeese at third, Haggerty at second, Britt at first. The 1-2 trails outside once more. 2-2.
But those baseball factories, not to be confused with the baseball factory, make sure you visit one of their training sessions here on the Cape. Build your way to greatness.
One of our official sponsors of the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. 2-2, Rice gives the sign to Witt. To the set, the pitch. Another ball. Runs outside, 3-2.
And like last night with Jeff Kinley, Witt's in danger of walking in a run. Last night, Kinley walked in the third run of the ball game. And if Pabst were to draw a walk, it would once again be the third run of the ball game for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
Leadoff man Cam Gibson waits on deck. A 3-2 count on the way to Arden Pabst. Here it comes. Strike 3 called. Witt comes back. 2 foul balls, 2 straight balls, and gets him striking out looking. Back to the dugout is Pabst. And the Kettleers have 2 down. He could escape this inning scoreless.
And that was a big pitch made there by Adam Witt. Froze Pabst in his tracks. He wasn't expecting the type of break that Witt put on that pitch. And now Cam Gibson represents the last obstacle for Adam Witt here in the fourth.
The son of Kirk Gibson in a big spot. First pitch swinging, chops it over towards short. Taylor flips to Arendis to end the inning. The Harbor Hawks load the bases with DeWeese, Haggerty, and Britt. Witt comes back and gets 3 straight batters via fly-out, strikeout, and ground-out. We'll go to the home half of the fourth, 4-2 Cotuit. You're listening to the Cotuit Kettleers Baseball Network on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you. A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, 2 of America's favorite pastimes. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
The Chatham Bars Inn celebrates its 100th anniversary this year and is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of the leading hotels of the world. For a time you will always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn. 7, 8, 9 batting for the Kettleers as we return to Lowell Park. Bottom of the fourth. First pitch to Colton Bottomley is a ball low and inside. With Greg Mraz, I'm Brendan Glasheen. 1-0 pitch. Drops in the dirt, 58 feet in front at 86 from Nick Deeg. Count 2-0. Bottomley advanced to third base, and a wild pitch in the second inning came around and scored. Also doubled on the first pitch of the at-bat to Deeg. He's ahead 3-0 after another pitch in the dirt.
And that's about the hardest hit ball that we've seen, granted only 2 games, but all year long so far from any Kettleer.
3-0 pitch. Bottomley lets go of the bat to the left side, thinking he had ball 4. Gets the bad news from Roger Saraiva. He's back in the box, 3-1. Deeg works quickly, kicks the leg and fires. Pop to the right side, foul. 3-2, count runs full.
I can understand where Bottomley's coming from. That pitch was well low and a little bit inside. But you always have to remember that umpires will expand the zone on pretty much any 3-0 count.
3-2 pitch, hammered to the left side. Britton has it cleanly. Throws across the diamond in time. One down to begin the fourth inning. Colton Bottomley down on a ground out, scored 5-3.
You do have to like, though, that both at bats so far for Colton Bottomley, he's hit the ball hard. Obviously, the double back in the second was laced. And that ground ball to third, if it found a hole, that one was going to scoot at least halfway into the outfield.
Bottomley struck out just 20 times in 147 at-bats with Florida Gulf Coast. Not surprising he put the bat on the ball. Casey Schroeder now bats. He struck out in his first at-bat. Skies one on 0-1 to the right side. Backing up is Bobby Melly. He makes the catch just about 6 feet beyond the dirt in foul ground. Two down quickly for Katuitt in the last of the fourth.
I think Nick Deeg has found himself a groove. He understands where he needs to put the baseball. He's retired 5 batters in a row. Would have been 6, except for the fact that you can't really call Logan Taylor being retired because of the fact that Jamison Fisher on his single was thrown out at home back in the second.
First pitch to Rice. Popped out of play. Rice had an RBI single in the last of the second. Came around and scored the last run for Katuitt. A 4-2 lead in the fourth inning. 7 hits, an error on 4 runs for the Kettleers. 3 hits, 2 runs for Hyannis. The pitch, same spot. Sky to the right side, out of play. Just by the stands that are not newly renovated at Lowell Park.
Visitors' stands on the first base side haven't been renovated yet, but that should be coming in the next year, from what I've been told, but I'll make sure to double check on that.
0-2 to Rice, just gets a piece on the inside of the bat, just by the hand grip. 0-2 comes once more. You mentioned Nick D getting into a rhythm in these middle innings. Walked just 26 batters in 81-plus innings with Central Michigan this past year. The 0-2 dips in, strike 3 called. 6 in a row retired by Nick Deeg. Sends the Harbor Hawks into the dugout for the 5th inning. 4 innings in the books here at Lowell Park. A 4-2 lead still holds for Katuitt. You're listening to Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Happy 100th birthday to the Chatham Bars Inn, one of the world's most honored resorts. The Chatham Bars Inn offers the Cape's finest dining and oceanfront views. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
Welcome back here. Top of the 5th, Kyle Servance, Daniel Keeley, and Bobby Melly due up here against the new pitcher for the Katuitt Kettleers. This call to the bullpen, friends, is brought to you by the Fuller Family Foundation. The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League. The new pitcher is the big right-hander, number 37, from Wofford, Luke Leftwich. Leftwich stands at 6'3", 203, went 4-5 on the season at Wofford, a 5.19 ERA in 14 starts, 76 in the third innings pitched, led the team with 14 starts, a 2.68 strikeout to walk ratio. He had the highest ERA among starting pitchers at Wofford. A 2.75 opponent's batting average against, and If the name sounds familiar, his father, Phil Leftwich, pitched in the majors from 1993 to 1996, and his grandfather, Tom Timmerman, pitched with the Detroit Tigers from 1969 to 1973, and the Cleveland Indians from 73 to 74. That will bring up Servance, the left fielder from the University of Houston. Walked, stole second, and advanced to third on a wild pitch in the first, and lined out to D.C. Arendis in the fourth. First pitch, check swing, sliced foul, hits the new netting that stands above the third base dugout, the Kettleers home dugout, and it's 0-1. Leftwich from Phoenix, Arizona, a right-handed pitcher. 0-1, breaking ball, misses low. Counts 1-1. Did not see Leftwich in any of the preseason exhibition games, but he looks comfortable so far. 1-1, chopped up the middle, gobbling it up is Taylor, flips across, and that's the first out of the fifth. So Servance is retired, and that will bring up Danny Keeley. Keeley struck out looking back in the first, had a sac fly and an RBI back in the third that made this a 4-2 ball game. Righty-righty matchup. Leftwich stands in. First pitch on the way, misses well inside. A changeup that had a lot of movement on it. 1-0 the count to Keeley. That strike is taken right down Broadway, a fastball at 91. Count even at 1. Kettleers broadcast booth at gmail.com if you'd like to get in touch with us. We'd love to hear what you have to say as the 1-1 pitch is taken outside. Counts 2-1. Rice giving the signs. Keeley waves the bat. Sets to the outside, the 2-1. Keeley laces that one through the hole between third and short. That's a base hit. A one-out single for Daniel Keeley. He's 1 for 2, and that'll bring up Bobby Melly.
31, Bobby Melly.
And folks, it's now time for the Coca-Cola scoreboard update. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with a nice cold Coca-Cola product. We offer over 400 different beverage choices on Cape Cod to quench every thirst, and more than 150 of those are low or no calorie options. So friends, lots of options all around if you're drinking a Coke, and lots of options if you're not at this game. 5 games in progress in the Cape League thus far. First pitch to Bobby Melly, fastball that misses high and outside. 1-0 the count. Top of the 5th at Stony Brook Elementary School in Brewster. Harwich Mariners out to an 8-0 lead over the Brewster Whitecaps. Bottom of the 5th at Red Wilson Field. Falmouth trying to bounce back from their 7-3 loss to Brewster last night. Pick off to first, back safely Keeley. They lead the YD Red Sox 2-0. No score at Doran Park. Orleans and Bourne at 0-0, and yet to get started out at Veterans Field in Chatham. 1-0 pitch misses high and outside. Fastball at 91, 2-0 the count to Bobby Melly for the Wareham Gatemen and the Chatham Anglers. When we went off the air last night, only 1 game had been completed, friends. We'll give you the scores from the other games in case you weren't able to catch up on them from yesterday. The runner's going, pitch is high and outside, throw down to second base, and they got him. Ian Rice throws a dart down to second and nails Danny Keeley as he tries to swipe second. So a caught stealing, and Keeley heads back to the dugout, but a 3-0 count to Bobby Melly. 3-0 on the way. Fastball misses well high and a little bit outside. So a 2-out walk drawn by Bobby Melly. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Ben DeLuzio. So last night, Brewster beat Falmouth 7-3 out at Stony Brook Elementary. Bourne behind a 4-run inning, beat Wareham 4-2. Harwich beat YD 7-2 out at White House Field in Harwich. First pitch on the way to DeLuzio. Tailing fastball the outside corner for strike one. And out at Eldridge Park in Orleans, Chatham spoiled the opening night for the Eastern Division champs. Or I should say the representatives of the Eastern Division in the championship game. Ground ball to second. DC Arendis bobbles it, and it ricochets to his right. So another error made by DC Arendis, his second in as many games, and that keeps the inning alive for Sam Haggerty. So DeLuzio, the Florida State product, reaches on an error. So a walk to Bobby Melly, and an error by DC Arendis brings up Sam Haggerty.
Number 2.
Haggerty 1 for 2, doubled, back in the fourth. Leftwich in the stretch. First pitch on the way, chopped foul on the first base line. That does it for our scoreboard update. We'll be back with another Coca-Cola of Cape Cod scoreboard update later in the program. Haggerty from New Mexico, a Lobo, a famous sports alumni, former Chicago Bears linebacker, Brian Urlacher. 0-1 breaking ball. Misses high and outside. Count even at 1-1. Haggerty, one of those guys that's a very pesky hitter. Covers the plate extremely well for a guy who really isn't that big. 1-1. Fastball misses low. Count to 2-1. Luke Leftwich wearing number 37, which was the number last year worn by Eric Karch. He was Pepperdine's closer, taken in the draft by the Pittsburgh Pirates. 2-1 on the way. Haggerty hits that one right to DC Arendis. He fields it cleanly this time, fires to first, and gets Haggerty by a couple of steps. So the Harbor Hawks leave a pair. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Kettleers still lead this one 4-2. You're locked into Katuitt Kettleers baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and Mashpee Channel 99.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together two of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
First pitch swinging, Jamison Fisher here in the bottom of the fifth. Hits it right to Bobby Melly. One pitch, one away here in the bottom of the fifth. 1, 2, and 3. Fisher retired, and that will bring up Jake Fincher. Fincher 2 for 2 against Nick Deegs, singled and scored a run in the first, and also singled in the second. 2 hard hit balls. First pitch, fastball taken at the knees for strike 1. No action for Hyannis in the bullpen thus far. Fincher fouls the 0-1 pitch out of play to the right side. Count to 0-2. Kettleers have not exactly done a good job of driving Deage's pitch count up. He's through 57 pitches through 4 1/3. Ground ball to second. Picking it up, Haggerty fires across. And Fincher is retired for the first time on the season. 4 pitches, 2 outs. Now will bring up Logan Taylor, the shortstop from Texas A&M. Taylor flew out to right in the first. And he singled and drove in Ian Rice in the second. So Taylor off to a good start this season. Shows bunt, but chops it foul. Count to 0-1. Be a very interesting dynamic once Trace Barrera and Travis Duke, the two Texas products, get here. 0-1 on the way from Deague. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on him. Change up that dipped well out of the zone at the end of its rotation. Taylor down in the count 0-2. The Texas A&M rivalry, one of the best in sports. 0-2 curveball gets away from Arden Pabst, who was well inside anyway. Count to 1-2 on Taylor. 1-2 pitch, fastball chopped foul. Deague was getting to 89, still keeping it at around 88, but hasn't really ramped it up any farther than 88 in this inning. 1-2 to Logan Taylor, swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup. Kettleers go down in order here in the 5th. We're through 5 at Lowell Park. Katuitt leads Hyannis 4-2.
The Chatham Bars Inn celebrates its 100th anniversary this year and is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of the leading hotels of the world. For a time you will always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn. The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. There are big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the balsamic grilled chicken or the tender and juicy top sirloin steak. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our community's customers and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Welcome back to Lowell Park. Top of the 6th inning with Greg Mraz. I'm Brendan Glasheen. A 4-2 lead holds for the Katuitt Kettleers. The last 2 innings here at Lowell Park have been scoreless for Katuitt. 2 runs scored in the last of the 3rd for Hyannis. Katuitt got 1 in the last of the 1st and 3 in the last of the 2nd. 7, 8, and 9 for Luke Leftwich, Dalton Britt, Matt Britton, and Arden Pabst. Britt, the lefty, facing the powerful righty Leftwich. First pitch, dribbled over towards shortstop. A backhand by Taylor, works his way across in time. Solid stretch from Fisher at first base. 1 down, top of the 6th.
Mississippi State, number 16, Matt Britton.
Brings up another lefty for Hyannis. We talked about, Greg, how loaded this lineup is with left-handed hitting. The lefty Britton, sporting the white batting gloves with some red trim, holds the bat, swings through a fastball, 0-1 at 90 miles per hour.
And that was really the deal with Katuitt last year, because for most of the year, at least most of the first half of the year, at least 7 hitters in the lineup were left-handers.
Leftwich goes change up, dips inside, too low and inside, 1-1.
Really didn't have a right-handed power bat until Caleb Bryson of Samford got here from the Great Lakes League.
1-1 struck to the trees just in front of the batting cage here at Lowell Park. Leftwich ahead, 1-2. He's into his windup. The pitch in the dirt gets away from Schroeder off the left protection of his gear. 2-2, the count evens up.
There's a plus and a minus to having a lot of left-handed hitters in the lineup. We'll get into that after this pitch.
2-2, again to Taylor. Picks it up, no problem. Throw across in time. 2 ground outs to Logan Taylor begins the 6th inning for Luke Leftwich. 2 down.
And what I'm saying about left-handed hitters is there's a pro and a con, especially in a league like this, where you can start a multitude of pitchers. When you have a lot of left-handed hitters, if you get against a team that has a majority of right-handed pitchers, then obviously that's going to play into the hitter's advantage. But at least with the Kettleers last year, a lot of teams would intentionally throw lefties knowing that the Kettleers could put out a minimum of 7 lefties every night.
This time it's a righty, Arden Pabst. He's behind. Well, Leftwich is behind 1-0. He's into his windup, the 1-0 pitch. Up and in. Pabst leans back out of the way. Fastball clocked in at 89. Leftwich of Phoenix, Arizona. Plays for Wolford College and ERA over 9 this past year. The 2-0. Chop to the right side, over the cage. Out of play, 2-1. A raw, sort of breezy afternoon at Lowell Park. Cloud-covered day. But as we said, the new look bleachers filled of Cotuit Kettleer fans for opening day 2014. The defending champs, a 4-2 lead over Hyannis in Game 2 of the season. Chopped into the backstop foul. 2-2 coming up once more. Talked with Coach Mike Roberts before the game, and the Roberts report said he was very happy to be back. Many thank yous were dished out at the opening dinner in Osterville on Tuesday night prior to the season's beginnings. And the fans have arrived for another season. The 2-2 drops low and inside. Count runs full.
Crowds are always very good. They're always very consistent. And Kettleer fans, it's a residential area. You don't have a lot of tourists coming to games. You have a lot of people who live in the area who really feel at one with the team.
The 3-2 swung on and missed. Leftwich completes a solid 1-2-3-6, the pair of groundouts, and strikes out the 9-hitter Pabst to send the Kettleers into the last of the 6th inning. 5.5 complete at Lowell Park. Cotuit 4, Hyannis 2. You're listening to Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, two of America's favorite pastimes.
Last of the 6th inning here at Lowell Park with Greg Mraz. I'm Brendan Glasheen. Cotuit leads Hyannis 4-2 in Game 2 of the regular season. Nick Deeg returns for his 6th inning of work. Misses with the fastball outside, 1-0. He faces 4, 5, and 6 for the Kettleers. DC Arendis, Caleb Whalen, and Jeremy Taylor. The 1-0 finds the corner this time. A lefty-lefty matchup is even at 1-1.
You have to wonder, though, DC Arendis has been hitting so well.
Swings through another breaking ball. Deeg works quickly, 1-2.
But he's made 2 errors at second, which might make Coach Roberts think in tomorrow's game against Wareham, maybe starting him at designated hitter.
Arendis is 1 for 2 in today's game. Pitch gets away. 70 on the gun, 2-2. Deeg to Arendis. Got caught in a rundown to end the first inning, but able to score a run. Grounded to third in the third inning. 2-2 pitch. Fastball way outside the dish. Full count.
Those 2 breaking balls thrown by Nick Deeg were not any that we've seen before. They were very loopy.
The payoff pitch doesn't catch the corner. Ball 4. Roger Surviva not fooled by the frame from Pabst. A base runner for the Kettleers to begin the 6th inning.
And now the leadoff walk 50% number can work in the Kettleers' favor. Try and add on an insurance run.
Here's the Portland Pilot. Caleb Whalen, he's 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts. First pitch swinging, he grounds it this time to Britt, to second for 1, to first in time. The Harbor Hawks turn 2. 6-4-3, Britt to Haggerty to Melly. 2 down for Deeg. He's pitched economical thus far in this ball game.
Basically what he's been able to do is give Kettleers hittable pitches. Got battered around in the 2nd inning where he gave up 5 hits, 4 singles, and a double. Other than that, he hasn't really been able to give anything else up hard hit.
Now home plate umpire Roger Surviva calls time. Deeg working so quickly to Jeremy Taylor here. 0-1 pitch, falls in again. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. A fast approach from Nick Deeg could escape quickly in this inning. The pitch, it dips low, but it's hammered to the right side. Keeley on the run as well as many others. It falls. The second baseman Haggerty fires it into second, but Taylor's speed bails him out. A 2-out double for Jeremy Taylor, and the Kettleers look to be in business in the home half of the 6th.
Bloop into no man's land. Haggerty, Melly, and Keeley all going for it. Keeley made a dive for it, wasn't able to get it. And Taylor was thinking too as soon as the ball left the bat, I should say.
8th hit for the Kettleers, 8 hits on 4 runs today. 4 hits, 2 runs for Hyannis. A 2-run lead for the Kettleers. First pitch to Bottomley. A fastball on the inside corner at the knees. The count 0-1. Bottomley is 1 for 2. Had a scorching double in the 2nd. Came around and scored. And led off the 4th with a ground out to 3rd. And Taylor didn't seem much bothered by Nick Deeg's fast-paced approach. Found the hole, no problem with the fast-paced pitching. 0-1. Changeup falls in. Too low at the ankles by the Nike Shocks of Bottomley. And Greg, it's now 6:39. What's that time?
That means we're 99 minutes into today's ball game.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Pickoff attempt from Deeg over to the second baseman, Haggerty. Taylor's okay. Count remains 1-1 with 2 down in the 6th. Katuitt leads 4-2. Colton Bottomley going up against Deeg. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Goes through it, low and inside, but swings anyway. Count 1-2.
Bottomley swung through that one very aggressively. Ball really dipped at the end of its movement.
Started at the top, fell to the bottom. And what do you know, Bottomley going to the bottom of the zone. The 1-2. Just gets a piece to the right of us into the cage. Count holds 1-2. As Drake says, started from the bottom, and now we're here, but loop that one around. 1-2 count to Bottomley. Taylor at second, the pitch. Nails it to the left. It screeches foul. We'll do 1-2 once more.
Looks as if Bottomley broke his bat. And he's going to go into the dugout and get a new one.
Nick Deeg is up to 76 pitches. Bottomley retrieves a new bat from the dugout. Sports his blue batting gloves with white trim. Kettleers in the home whites with the maroon lettering, maroon numbers, maroon helmets, and maroon socks with the maroon pinstripe white pants. Pitch 77 coming in from Nick Deeg, the lefty from Central Michigan. Gives Taylor a look at second, the 1-2. In the dirt, too far in front. Bottomley holds up. Count evens up 2-2.
Bottomley from Florida Gulf Coast, which has been really a new hotbed of baseball. Started off with Chris Sale, 13th overall pick in 2010 of the Chicago White Sox. Program has really gotten a lot better.
2-2. The bat breaks again, hammered to short. Britt throws across. And with the extension is Melly to retire this side. 2 broken bats and 1 at bat. You don't see that too often. Bottomley retired and no runs in for Cotuit. 6 innings into the opening day for the Cotuit Kettleers at Lowell Park. And it still has a lead. 4-2 Kettleers. And you're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies such as ZigTech, RealFlex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees.
Welcome back to Lowell Park. Luke Leftwich takes the mound once more. In this top of the 7th inning, Cotuit leads 4-2. He'll face the top of the lineup for Hyannis. First pitch fastball at 88, clocked in too high and inside, 1-0 to Cam Gibson. Gibson able to plate a run, but he won't get all the credit, not an RBI since the run scored on an error. Takes a strike, 1-1. 0 for 3 in the game, struck out swinging in the first. Reached on that error in the third and grounded to short in the fourth. Dribbles it to the right side, it's in for a base hit, it finds the hole. Gibson now 1 for 4. A leadoff base runner again for Hyannis. And now Mike Roberts has his jacket on out to the mound to take the baseball from Leftwich. Potentially.
He's made the call, and it looks like it's going to be A.J. Minter from Texas A&M. Correction, it looks like it's Dalton Potts from Tennessee Martin.
Indeed does. Leftwich hands the baseball off to Potts. The call to the bullpen is brought to you by the Fuller family. We'll have more on Potts after this. Cotuit 4, Hyannis 2, a leadoff base runner on. You're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu. A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
New pitcher on the mound for the Cotuit Kettleers. It's A.J. Minter. The pitching change here is brought to you by the Fuller family. And Minter, a lefty thrower, 6 foot, 210 pounds, a sophomore at Texas A&M. 3-0 on the season, an ERA of 1.58 in 24-plus innings. He allowed just 5 earned runs and walked 12. Struck out 24. Opponents hit .241 against Minter. With 1 down, Cam Gibson at first base. A lefty-lefty matchup, and Mike Roberts, Greg, decides to go with the lefty. Makes perfect sense, a lefty-loaded lineup for this Hyannis team. Minter's going to check in at first base on Gibson. Puts his foot in the rubber. Has a slight open stance, keeps the ball in his glove with his left hand hanging by his side. Now he's to the set, checks in again on Gibson. Nothing doing.
And I can't tell who this is at the plate because he's wearing number 14. It's not Kyle Servance. There is no number 14 listed on their official roster.
He strikes it to the left side, out of play. For now, I'll say he, because it's not Servance.
It actually is Servance, according to the point streak system that keeps track of all the games. Maybe they switched numbers during the middle of the game? I don't know.
He usually sports number 36, but the 14 padded on the back of his jersey. The 0-1 pitch misses too low and outside, low at the ankles. Evens the count at 1-1. 93 on the gun from A.J. Minter. Again, struck out 24 batters in 24-plus innings. Greg, you like to talk about whip. That whip looks awfully good. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Elevates with the fastball, 94. Did get a piece of it into the back of Rice's mitt. 1-2.
A 1.32 whip. Basically, he's averaging a strikeout per inning, which is pretty darn good if you ask me.
He looks in for his sign towards Rice. Minter to the set. The 1-2 falls too low and outside. 2-2. Minter, an A&M player, just like Logan Taylor, they made the trip down on Tuesday night after being eliminated by Texas in the Super Regional of the College Baseball World Series. He's on the Cape now, a 2-2 count to Servance. Instead, checks in on Gibson for another try. Nothing doing, 2-2.
And Minter's a guy who had a low ERA in the regular season, and he's going to be a valuable left-handed arm. There aren't that many of them outside of him, Dalton Potts, and Jeff Kinley.
2-2 is struck to the left side, just above the newly renovated stands by the bathrooms here at Lowell Park. 2-2 coming again. Minter to Servance.
Although they are still waiting on Travis Duke, the left-hander from Texas. Obviously, Texas still has some things to take care of out in Omaha, Nebraska.
2-2 in the dirt. Rice blocks it just behind the plate. Count runs full, 3-2. 8 hits, 4 runs for Katuitt, 5 hits, 2 runs for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. We've had a steady 3 innings of no scoring between either team. The 3-2 pitch. It's lifted to left. Jeremy Taylor, a long run. Taylor dives! And unable to get it as Taylor picks it up and behind him and gets it into second base. Full extension from Logan Taylor. A tough vantage point here. It looked as if he was able to make the grab, but Taylor gets it in on the missed dive, and it's a base hit for Kyle Cervance.
Taylor squared coming in there. Logan Taylor going out. Jeremy Taylor coming in. And basically, you want to talk about Superman. Logan Taylor looked about as much as Superman on that dive as you could have expected. Led full out, body on the ground, and made a good effort. But fortunately, Jeremy Taylor gets the ball in and doesn't allow Gibson to get past second base.
Keeley squares around a bunt, pulls away, but called a strike anyways. 0-1. Let it be known that Luke Leftwich is responsible for Cam Gibson at second base. Cervance is at first, responsible to A.J. Minter. The Aggie is to the set. It's 0-1 to Keeley with 1 down in the 7th. Nobody out, rather. It's out in front. Rice will hold the ball. And home plate umpire Roger Sariva calls a signal that Keeley is out.
Looks as if the bunt hit the plate, either that or Keeley interfered with Ian Rice trying to pick up the ball. And anytime that happens when a runner interferes with a player trying to field the ball, that's an automatic out.
So down goes Keeley on an odd play. The runners stay put. Cervance at first, Gibson at second. Mealy the batter now. He's 0 for 2 with a walk back in the 5th. Hammers it to the left side. Foul. Jumping out of the way of it. Oh, 1 count with 1 down in the 7th inning. Greg Moraz with myself, Brendan Glasheen, bringing you Katuitt Kettleers baseball opening day here at Lowell Park. The 0-1 pitch to Melly. In the dirt, Rice can't find it. It gets behind him, and the runners advance to second and third.
I think they'll rule that one a passed ball because it wasn't that far out of the zone, and Rice just had a bad deflection off the bottom of his glove. But that's big because now Gibson and Cervance are both in scoring position.
Ideally, you have Minter facing a lefty and Melly. Corners now in for Katuitt. The outfield playing a little bit shallow. Jake Fincher is noticeably to the left in left center field. The 1-1. Struck to the left side. Taylor a long run towards his left. The run scores. He bobbles it. Another run to score. And we're even at 2s. Or 4 apiece. The throw into second base is able to lock down Bobby Melly. 2 runs come in to add to the 2 Hyannis already had. It's now 4-4 in the 7th inning. Melly is out, but a 2 RBI single to plate Cervance and Gibson. The bobble with Jeremy Taylor. I believe they score an error.
They actually did not score an error there. So you look at the score sheet. 2 errors were made previously, one by Caleb Whalen in the 3rd and one by DC Arendis in the 5th.
First pitch swinging, DeLuzio up the middle. Arendis with the dive, but no play at first base. The go-ahead run is now on for Hyannis.
And it's just an unfortunate situation because Minter was 1 out away. He had a force on base, but a wild pitch advances both runners into scoring position, and Bobby Melly comes up with a clutch single. And I think you got to give a lot of benefit of the doubt that Cervance was able to score.
The runner's off. DeLuzio slides in without a throw. That go-ahead run is now in scoring position with still just 1 down, or 2 down rather, in the inning.
And as I was saying, the bobble pretty much allowed Cervance to come around and score, so if it wasn't for that, still might be a 4-3 ball game at this point.
The 1-0 to Sam Haggerty. The runner's off again, foul to the right. Back to second base goes DeLuzio. Katuitt, 8 hits, 4 runs. Hyannis has matched that. 8 hits, 2 runs. The difference, or 8 hits, 4 runs rather. The difference, the 2 errors on Katuitt's end. Some defensive mix-ups have altered this game for the Kettleers. Minter gets his sign. The 1-1 to Haggerty. A fastball upstairs and outside high. 2-1. Two runs in this inning for Hyannis. A 2 RBI single from Bobby Melly. The Yukon Husky comes up big as a Cape Cod native. Back to second base goes DeLuzio. Just a bluff from A.J. Minter when he stepped off the rubber. 2-1 on its way. Here it comes. Hits the corner inside to the righty. Sam Haggerty, 2-2.
2-2 count, really important that Minter not only find the strike zone, but Haggerty's put some good wood on the ball. Had a double back in the fourth. Don't want to give him anything on the inner half where he can pull his hands in and drive anything.
Minter to the set. The lefty holds the ball in his glove. Fires at the slide step. Swing and a miss. He got him. An extended swing from Sam Haggerty way out of the zone. Minter escapes trouble but allows the 2 runs. We'll go to the home half of the 7th. Time to stretch at Lowell Park, but can't stretch too comfortably. It's 4-4 between Katuitt and Hyannis. You're listening to Katuitt Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together 2 of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream.
Happy 100th birthday to the Chatham Bars Inn, one of the world's most honored resorts. The Chatham Bars Inn offers the Cape's finest dining and oceanfront views. For a time you will always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn.
For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you. The 7th inning stretch at Lowell Park is brought to you by the Bank of Cape Cod. The stretching is over, and now Casey Schroeder, the DH, is to the plate. Schroeder is 0 for 2. He struck out on a changeup from Nick Deek, who returns for the 7th inning. First pitch hacking, grounds to the left side. Nifty play by Coach Roberts. A bare hand snag by the head coach and third base coach of the Katuitt Kettleers. Count 0-1 to Schroeder. Schroeder also flew to the first baseman, Bobby Melly, in the 4th inning. Melly, a clutch 2 RBI single to even this game at 4 apiece. The 1-1. Grounded over towards third. Britton snags it. Heaves across the diamond in time. 1 down for Deegs. He's 6 1/3 deep and is starting to look really in form right now, Greg.
But warming up in the bullpen is probably one of the most unique situations that I've ever seen. Ryan Perez from Judson University in Elgin, Illinois, an NAIA school, and from what we have here in our notes, he pitches with both arms and can hit 90 on his fastball with both arms.
Deegs' first pitch to Ian Rice dips in the dirt. 1-0, that's quite something. Pitching with both arms. Never mind switch hitting, but switch pitching. Fastball upstairs to Rice, outside. He's ahead 2-0.
Finding a switch pitcher is finding a needle in a haystack. You basically never do.
The bat flies and breaks, but shortstop Dalton Britt has no issue throwing out Rice. Score at 6-3, 2 down in the 7th.
We've had at least 5 broken bats here today. Several from the Kettleers, 2 of them in one at bat by Colton Bottomley back in the 6th.
One at bat is quite something.
One at bat to break 2 bats.
Brings up the leadoff man, Jamison Fisher. The lefty-lefty matchup. Fisher flashes bunt but pulls back. Takes a strike, however, 0-1.
One thing at this point as we hit the 7 o'clock hour, you have to worry about this game being called due to darkness.
0-1 pitch, breaking ball, drops in outside corner, 0-2.
Sun never came out today, and because of that, daylight is a little bit shorter.
0-2 pitch. Fisher shoots it to left. Cervant's on the run. He makes the catch. Well, Greg, don't have to worry too much about this sun or this cloud cover because Nick Deeg is just cruising in this ball game. Has retired 8 of the last 9. We'll go to the 8th inning. We're evened at 4s between Cotuit and Hyannis. You're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, 2 of America's favorite pastimes. The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Top of the 8th, 7, 8, and 9 due up here for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Dalton Britt, Matt Britton, and Arden Pabst. Although we are going to see a pinch hitter here to start the top of the 8th. Dylan Boshears, who started at 3rd yesterday, had an RBI. The slugger from Tennessee Tech will be pinch hitting here for Dalton Britt.
Number 6, Tennessee Tech, Dylan Boshears.
Boshears in yesterday's game went 1 for 3, a ground out to second base, a single in yesterday's 4th inning, walked in the 6th, and struck out swinging in the 8th.
Minter will start in the stretch. First pitch to the righty Boshears is a fastball that misses high for ball 1. Boshears, as we mentioned yesterday, one of 10 semifinalists for the Brooks Wallace Award, which is given to the nation's top shortstop. Swing and a miss, pulled the string on him. Nice curveball in at 77. Boshears swung right over that one. Folks, it's the 8th inning, so it's time for another Coca-Cola of Cape Cod scoreboard update. 1-1 on the way. Breaking ball in the dirt. Counts 2-1. Bottom of the 8th at Stony Brook Elementary. Harwich now leading Brewster 10-0. So that game will be ending very shortly. Top of the 8th at Red Wilson Field. Falmouth leads YD 3-0. 2-1. Fastball misses high and outside. Top of the 5th at Doran Park. No score between the Orleans Firebirds and the Warren Braves. And still yet to get underway from Veterans Field in Chatham between the Wareham Gatemen and the Chatham Anglers. 3-1. Strike called. At the knees. Pretty much dead center. Boshears thought that one was ball 4. Payoff upcoming from A.J. Minter. The left-hander from Texas A&M. Payoff on the way. Ring him up. Strike 3 called. Fastball on the low inside corner. Boshiers thought it was ball 4. Back-to-back strikeouts for A.J. Minter. He struck out Sam Haggerty to end the 7th, and he strikes out Dylan Boshiers looking to start the 8th.
We mentioned how economical Minter was at Texas A&M this past season, an ERA of 1.85, a whip just over 1. Working great in these last few batters in the 7th and 8th innings.
First pitch is swung on and missed by Matt Britton, the third baseman from Mississippi State. Britton has walked, scored in the 3rd. Swing and a miss. 87 on that tailing heater. Count to 0-2. Flew out to left in the 4th and grounded out to short in the 6th. Intercepts the 0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Count to 1-2. Some fans have started to file out. It has not been a warm day, to say the least. Compared to last year's home opener against Orleans, it's been much colder. 1-2 check swing, appeal down to 3rd. Tim Carey says no swing, count even up at 2. I remember last year the temperature cracking to at least 70 degrees. And Brendan, based on what we're feeling, a little cool breeze blowing in from left, I don't think it's anywhere above 65 out right now.
No question. And the window's open here up in the broadcast booth. We can certainly feel that breezy temperature. And with the sun going down as we adhered to earlier on in the broadcast moments ago, this game could end earlier than usual.
2-2 was inside. The 3-2 swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts. Matt Britton goes down swinging. And there's 2 gone here for Arden Pabst. So A.J. Minter has come into the ball game and has struck out 3 batters of the 5 outs that he's recorded. First pitch to Arden Pabst goes through the wickets. Doesn't matter, nobody's on base. Count to 1-0. One on the way to Pabst. Pitch misses high and outside. Fastball, he got that one to 92. It's the fastest we've seen all day. Pabst has reached on a hit by pitch and scored. Also has a pair of strikeouts. 2-0. Misses well outside. And Pabst is in the catbird seat. He's got a 3-0 count. There are 2 outs, though.
And it's different from what we've seen on Minter. He's been getting a hit of hitters going right at him.
3-0, fastball right down Broadway. That one an 89. And the count to 3-1. Some more action loosening in the Kettleers bullpen. Down the left field line. 3-1 on the way. That one fouled off. Looks to be Mason Klotz from Southeast Louisiana. One of the best relievers in the Southland Conference all season. Saw another great Southland Conference player last night in Southeast Louisiana's Tate Siena. Also can't forget Jameson Fisher. Get to its own. 3-2. Skied to the second baseman. And settling under it is DC Arendis. He squeezes it, and that's out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. Minter works a perfect 8th. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. Still tied at 4.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together two of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Welcome to the bottom of the 8th inning. Fincher, Taylor, and Arendis due up against a returning Harbor Hawk, somebody who was not expected to come, but is back. The right-hander from Duke, he wore number 7 last year, now sporting number 8, Sarkis Ohanian.
Ohanian in 18 relief appearances for Duke University went 1-1 with an ERA of 7.20. He struck out 28 batters over 20 innings, held opponents to a .239 batting average. He pitched 2 1/3 scoreless innings to earn the win on April 8th against NC Central. He struck out a season-high 5 Eagle batters in that contest. So a returning Cape Leaguer, Sarkis Ohanian, and well known for Hyannis as a big-time reliever, and he's in a big spot here with a 4-4 game.
And it really surprised me how much he struggled, because he was so effective last year for Hyannis in the Cape, and it just was something that you didn't expect to see, how poorly he pitched at Duke, and he's back with the Harbor Hawks, and Chad Gassman knows he's reliable, and hopefully for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, he can refine his form and for the sake of himself. Couple of defensive changes for the Harbor Hawks as Jake Fincher steps to the plate. First pitch on the way. Fincher slices that one down the right field line, but it goes foul. Dylan Boshiers will remain in the game and play third. Correction, Boshiers comes in at short. Matt Britton will remain at third. Figured since Boshiers is third baseman by trade that he would have moved over, but not the case. 0-1 on the way to Jake Fincher. Fastball misses low. Count even at 1-1. And one thing I remember last year, obviously Brewster an Eastern Division team, Katuitt a Western Division team. I saw a lot more of Ohanian than you did, Brendan, but he's got a lot of movement. And for a guy who's not that big, throws pretty hard. 1-1, look out. Fincher gets out of the way of that one. About 2 inches from scraping his jersey. Count to 2-1 on Jake.
Ohanian threw 14-plus innings last year for Hyannis. Allowed just 6 hits, no runs all season long. Had 3 saves for the Harbor Hawks.
2-1. That one almost hits Fincher again. It just goes off the glove of Arden Pabst and ricochets back to the screen. Count to 3-1 on Jake Fincher.
And you mentioned his games against our respective teams, through 1 inning against Brewster last year on July 25th.
3-1 on the way to Fincher. Fastball misses well low, and Jake Fincher has drawn a leadoff walk. So the dreaded leadoff walk, as many people in the business have known to call it, but for Katuitt, not dreaded at all. Fincher represents the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 8th.
And this is exactly what you want in terms of placement in the batting order coming up to plate. Logan Taylor, DC Arendis, Caleb Whalen all potentially have chances to come to the plate and hopefully give Katuitt a lead and potentially its first win of the year.
Logan Taylor steps to the plate, 1 for 3 on the ball game. Bobby Melly comes in, first pitch inside, pitch out to second. Fincher steals second on a high throw.
And it looks like home plate umpire Roger Saraiva is going to call... Oh, it looked as if he was going to call him out.
Roger Saraiva did make a motion. It was an odd situation because Bobby Melly charged in about halfway on the grass at first. As soon as he did that, before Ohanian even threw, Fincher took off. Ohanian's pitch was really inside to Logan Taylor, and Pabst snapped through it, but the throw was well high. Taylor shows bunt but pulls back, count even at 1. Very confused as to what that signal was. I think he wanted to possibly call Taylor out for interference.
Perhaps realized that the circumstance did not present itself to be a way to call him out. Who knows?
I don't think it was interference in the sense that the pitch was so far inside. Taylor doesn't have enough time to get out of the way. 1-1. Taylor shows bunt again, but he puts it right through the 5-hole of Arden Pabst. And the count goes to 1-2. 5-hole, a good hockey term. If you've been following the Stanley Cup playoffs, New York Rangers kept themselves alive last night by beating the Los Angeles Kings. Game 5 will be tomorrow night in Los Angeles. I'm a big hockey fan. I'm not sure about you, Brendan, but 1-2 on the way, swing and a miss. Taylor down swinging, fails to get the bunt down, and that'll bring up DC Arendis.
Would have liked to see him get the bunt down, move him over to third base.
And now another substitution, looking like it's possibly going to be made, as the entire infield gathers around Sarkis Ohanian to have a chat.
Wonder what Chad Gassman has to be thinking here. Or it's not Gassman, it's the pitching coach for Hyannis. Calming down Sarkis. Have to be careful in this scenario. Of course, Arendis of South Carolina has performed awfully well the last 2 days. But anytime you have the cleanup man or the 5-hole hitter coming up, you have to be careful.
So Arendis will step to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Singled in the first, but ended up getting picked off when Caleb Whalen was at the plate. Grounded out to third on a really nice defensive play by Matt Britton. Arendis hits it through the hole on the right side. That's a base hit. Fincher's being waved around. The ball is bobbled. Fincher's going to score, and the Kettleers lead this one 5-4. But Arendis is tagged out at first on the relay back from Daniel Keeley. Either way, Fincher scores on the RBI by DC Arendis, and it's a 5-4 Kettleer lead.
What a turn of events. Even though Keeley bobbled the ball, pretty sure Jake Fincher was going to come around and score either way. And the Kettleers could be on their way to victory number 1 of a 44-game season.
First pitch to Caleb Whalen is a fastball at 94. That's the Sarkis Ohanian we're used to seeing. Count to 1-0.
Ohanian against Katuitt last year on July 6th. Went 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, and struck out 1. He faced 8 batters in that outing.
1-0 on the way. Fouled back into the mask of Arden Pabst. Counts 2-0. Time called, and Paps goes out to talk with Sarkis Ohanian.
Classic class right there by Pabst. He noticed that home plate umpire Saraiva was knocked in the head. So most players are taught, most catchers at least are taught to give the umpire a breather, go out and talk with your pitcher. And Saraiva looks okay. He's just fine.
Ohanian at the belt in the stretch. 1-1 on the way. Strike called. Nice breaking ball. Slide piece at the knees. Whalen down in the count 1-2. Caleb Whalen has had a rough start in his first 2 games. He's 0 for 7 in his first 7 at bats. 1-2 breaking ball misses inside. And we have 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Kettleers lead 5-4. Harbor Hawks have 4 runs on 8 hits. They've committed no errors. Kettleers have 5 runs on 9 hits. They've committed 2 errors, friends. Second straight night they've committed multiple errors. 2-2 to Whalen. Skies it to left center. Gibson on his horse. But coming in from his left will be Cervance. And he'll settle under it and make the catch for out number 3. But D.C. Arendis, on a single past the first baseman Bobby Melly, plates Jake Fincher. We'll head to the 9th. And the Kettleers are going to try and close out their first victory of the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Keep it locked right here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
The Chatham Bars Inn celebrates its 100th anniversary this year and is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of the leading hotels of the world. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn. A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a baseball?
Top of the 9th, top of the order due up against A.J. Minter. Gibson, Cervance, and Keeley. First pitch on the way from Minter. Drag bunt down the first base line, but it goes foul. Count 0-1. Couple of defensive changes, friends. Daniel Sweet takes over in right field. And Stephen Carkenny takes over at second base. Correction on that. Jake Fincher moves to second base, and Carkenny takes over in center field. Oh, 1 pitch to Gibson, taken low, count even at 1-1. Pitch is fouled off the screen. Actually, it was fouled off of Ian Rice's mask. Count now to 1-2, and deflected to the top of the backstop.
That must be some sort of mask to get that type of elevation from a baseball when it deflects off of it.
0-2. Breaking ball misses low. The count to 2-2 now, excuse me. It actually is Carkenny at second. Sorry for the confusion. 2-2, fouled out of play. And it hits a car. It's been tradition here to count cars that get hit in the past. At least that's what Seth and I did last year. But honestly, I feel some sympathy for the poor Cars. But don't feel any sympathy for Cam Gibson. He strikes out swinging on a rising fastball. Make that 4 strikeouts for A.J. Minter. And there's one down here in the 9th.
He's been terrific out of the pen. Has allowed a couple of singles to allow this game to get tied. Of course, those runs not charged to Minter. At least in earned run terms.
First pitch to Cervance is hit out into center field, a base hit. So Kyle Cervance keeps the line alive for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks here in the top of the 9th, and that'll bring up Daniel Keeley. Keeley on the day. It's had an interesting day. A sac fly and an RBI in the 3rd. A single and a caught stealing in the 5th. And then was called out on catcher's interference in the 7th, including a strikeout looking in the 1st. Pick off the 1st, but back safely is Cervance. They need to keep him close.
Double play depth between Carkenny and Logan Taylor. Very close at first base.
Want to correct one more thing, friends. I think we've gotten a little bit confused based on some of the defensive switches. It was actually Jeremy Taylor out in left field that was replaced by Stephen Carkenny. Everyone else remains the same. DC Arendis is still at second base. Pick off to first, but back safely is Cervance. Fincher remains in center. Logan Taylor remains at short. Apologize for the confusion. 0-1. This is outside. Correction. It's the first pitch of the at-bat. Count 1-0. I don't know. I can't seem to get anything right now. One of those innings. I think Minter's pickoffs, as he has another one there, have lulled me to sleep a little bit. Mason Klotz is still standing in the bullpen down the left field line. 1-0 on the way. Fastball misses high. Count to 2-0.
And Cervance taking a very hesitant lead off first base. First base coach whispers in his ear now as Chad Gaspin gives some signs. And now Roberts is out to talk. He wants to make a switch here.
And Mason Klotz will come in to try and close the door. This pitching change is brought to you by the Fuller Family Foundation. Minter out, Klotz in, and we'll be back.
Baseball Factory alum on their roster, please. Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu.
The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
New pitcher in here for the Cotuit Kettleers is the right-hander, the three-quarter delivery from Southeast Louisiana, number 45, Mason Klotz.
Klotz in 21 appearances with Southeastern Louisiana was terrific. 2-0 on the season. He had 5 saves in 27-plus innings of work. He allowed just 22 hits, 10 runs, only 4 earned, walked 15 and struck out 29. Opponents hit just .212 against Klotz.
Mason Klotz comes on to try and close the door. Klotz was second on the team in ERA at that 1.32 clip. He was a Louisville Slugger freshman All-American in 2013. And in that year of 2013, his freshman season, led the team in appearances with 26 and saves with 11 while posting a 3-0 record to go along with the 2.63 ERA. I think it can pretty much be presumed at this point, since he is a contract guy, that Mason Klotz is Mike Roberts' ideal closer for this season.
Makes perfect sense based on the makeup of what he's done with Southeastern Louisiana University this season. The Lions have turned to him in many clutch situations. The number that strikes my attention, Greg, is he allowed 10 runs this past year. Just 4 were earned. So he's called upon a lot to come into a game with guys on base. Never mind just a clean save to close the door on a game, but he's asked to come into a ball game with guys on base many a times.
I think that the college closer role is a little bit different than the professional baseball closer role in the sense that a lot of times college teams will bring their closer in to get a big stop, not necessarily the save, as Klotz immediately, before he even throws a pitch to Daniel Keeley, tries a pickoff at first with Kyle Servance once again. Servance a little bit bigger of a lead. Jamison Fisher holding him on. It is a 2-0 count, and the pitch is well inside, and Klotz's first pitch hits Daniel Keeley. So the go-ahead run is now at first. That's the second hit-by-pitch issued by Kettleer pitching tonight. The other one was issued back in the third by Matt Vogel. So the cleanup hitter, the Barnstable native, Bobby Melly, steps to the plate. Whalen at the corner at the bag at third, Fisher behind it. First pitch swinging, skies it to deep center. Fincher goes back on it. Makes the catch. Tagging is Servance. He'll head to third. Throw is cut off by Logan Taylor. So a sacrifice fly by Bobby Melly. Daniel Keeley remains at first. And Ben DeLuzio represents the last hope for the Hyannis Harborhawks.
A hope that seems realistic, though, Greg, with a guy at third base just 90 feet away. DeLuzio just needs to find a gap. Of course, it sounds easier said than done, but a base hit ties this game.
Servance at third. Keeley at first. 2 outs. Here in the top of the ninth. First pitch well inside to Ben DeLuzio for ball 1. You can tell that Klotz is not completely comfortable with his arm slot because he's not getting the right release point on the baseball. Klotz in the stretch. Gets a sign to 1-0. Bit more overhand that time. Fastball fouled out of play. Count even up at 1.
Remember, DeLuzio pinch ran for Donnie DeWeese in the 4th inning. Since that point, he reached on an error in the 5th and singled in the 7th.
Make sure you join us tomorrow, friends, right here at Lowell Park. Kettleers and the Wareham Gatemen set to square off at 5 o'clock. Inside pitch taken for a ball, throw right back to Mason Klotz. But the tag applied at third is not in time. A creative play, to say the least, by Ian Rice and Mason Klotz. Sacrificed second base, a stolen base for Daniel Keeley. And they tried to get Servance napping off a third. Unfortunately, for the Kettleers, it didn't work. 2-1 on the way to DeLuzio. Hits that one out in the right center field gap. Fincher's not going to get this one. This one's going to go all the way to the wall. Coming around to score Servance. Keeley will score easily. DeLuzio heading to third, and he will make it with a stand-up triple. Ben DeLuzio, in the last chance that Hyannis had, gives the Harborhawks a 6-5 lead here in the top of the ninth.
What a clutch at bat and clutch gap found by Ben DeLuzio. Goes to right center field. A long run for Jake Fincher. A scorching shot to the gap, and just like that, one swing, one pitch flips this score. A 6-5 lead in favor of the Harbor Hawks.
Squares up to bunt does Sam Haggerty, but takes this one high. Breaking ball at 78, 1-0. That just took the wind out of everybody's sails. And you can see some people started to head for the exits. 1-0. Fastball misses outside, now 2-0. Coach Roberts doesn't have anybody else warming up in the bullpen because based on his availability list, he doesn't have anybody left. Skied into left on the 2-0. Carkenny makes the catch, and that's out number 3. But not before Ben DeLuzio gives the Harbor Hawks their first lead of the ball game on an opposite field 2 RBI triple. Kettleers need 1 to keep this game alive. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th with Hyannis leading Cotuit 6-5 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu. Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, 2 of America's favorite pastimes. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technology such as ZigTech, RealFlex, and more. Reebok, live with fire. A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Last chance for the Kettleers here in the bottom of the 9th, 6-7-8 due up. Steve Carkenny, who came in for Jeremy Taylor defensively. Then it'll be Daniel Sweet and Casey Schroeder. First pitch, Carkenny shows bunt, but pulls back for ball 1. Sarkis Ohanian trying to close this one out. Not a situation he expected to be in, and he'll get credited with the win. 95-mile-an-hour fastball misses low. Count 2-0, and Steve Carkenny has to use every bit of that 483 OBP he had at the Masters College this year to try and get on base. 2-0 from Ohanian. Strike called. Fastball at the knees. Count to 2-1. As we were telling you earlier, friends, make sure you join us tomorrow right here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Kettleers and Gateman here at Lowell Park at 5 o'clock. Kettleers warm-up hits the air at 4:30. Fastball again in the dirt. This one now to 3-1. And Brendan Ohanian's basically been exclusively fastball in this at-bat.
Yes, he has, and that's why Carkenny has been awfully patient. If he's going to swing at a fastball, he wants a fastball that he knows he's comfortable with swinging at.
3-1 to Carkenny. Breaking ball taken for a strike. Count goes to full. Not a situation that many expected to be in once the top of the 9th started. About as clutch as you can be from Ben DeLuzio. Payoff on the way. Breaking ball misses low and outside. Roger Saraiva looked like he wanted a delayed call there, but he decides to make the ball call, not the strike call. And a leadoff walk issued to Steve Carkenny. I know I've been big in terms of emphasizing leadoff walks, but tonight for the Kettleers, they have drawn 3 leadoff walks. One of them has scored. One of them is yet to possibly score because of the fact that it's still going on in this inning. Now we're going to have a meeting of the minds once again on the mound. The Hyannis pitching coach and the entire infield.
And it looks like Richard Carthon is going to pinch run for Steve Carkenny at first base. And remember, Daniel Sweet checked into the game for Katuitt defensively in right field. He's next up to bat.
It's a good move there. Carthon, one of the fastest guys on this team. In fact, you can make the argument that either one of him, Daniel Sweet, Jeremy Taylor, who is no longer in the game, Jake Fincher, this team's got speed up and down the lineup.
Carthon had 8 stolen bases this past year as a member of the Green Wave. Second on the team in stolen bases, 8 of 10. So not a bad move from Mike Roberts. The pitching change on hand here at Lowell Park in the 9th.
We will get you who's coming in just a moment. This pitching change is brought to you by the Fuller Family Foundation. The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. Ohanian out. We'll be back. Kettleers have the winning run at the plate.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
New pitcher on for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. It's the right-hander from the Great White North, the University of Minnesota, number 22, Lance Thonvold.
Lance, this past season as a member of the Golden Gophers, went 0-1, an ERA of 7.64 in 17 2/3 innings. He allowed 26 hits, walked 10, and struck out 10. And Greg scouted with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. So if you're Daniel Sweet, who's about to step into the box now, have to be waiting for straight shed.
But you also have to realize the other side of the coin. This past season in relief, 13 appearances, 0-1 with a 7.64 ERA, 26 hits allowed in only 17 2/3. With 10 walks, that makes for a high whip. Daniel Sweet steps to the plate, hoping to possibly give the Kettleers a sweet victory. Carthon going, hit and run, and Sweet fouls it out of play. That's the second time that Bobby Melly has come in halfway to the batter, and Richard Carthon, who is now pinch running at first base for Steve Carkenny, was off on the pitch, and a good job by Sweet to make contact. Thonvold looks over at Carthon. Sweet, the left-handed hitter, crowding the plate. Carthon's going. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second base is not in time. Another hit and run called. This time Sweet can't make contact, and the Kettleers have the tying run in scoring position.
Carthon got just under that tag. A great throw from Paps down to second base, but Carthon's left hand extended to get in to second base safely just before Britt applied the tag. Big stolen base for Katuitt with nobody out still.
Daniel Sweet, as we mentioned last night, a 4.11 average this season at Polk State with a 5.25 on base and a 5.65 slugging. But he's in the hole 0-2. Pitch from Thonvold. Breaking ball, ring him up, strike 3 called. Sweet does not agree with that call. Neither do the fans. And that pitch looked at least 2 inches off the outside corner. Either way, Sweet's retired for out number 1.
It's a big first out for Hyannis. This is a case when you're the road team closing down the home team in the home half of the ninth in a 1-run game. You want it to end as quickly as possible.
Here's Casey Schroeder, the designated hitter. First pitch on the way. Schroeder skies that one to shallow left center. Coming in on it is Cervance. He'll make the catch. And Schroeder's retired on 1 pitch. We'll see what Mike Roberts decides to do here. Ian Rice is scheduled to hit, but you might imagine a pinch hitter here, and it looks as if Brendan Hendricks from the University of San Francisco will come on to pinch hit, and he represents Cotuit's last hope to tie the ball game. Hendricks was 1 for 2 last night, had a single late in the ball game from the University of San Francisco. Had a very good offensive year, a 287 average. That was 3rd on the team. But obviously, it's very hard to shine on a USF team that has a guy like Bradley Zimmer on it, who basically led USF and pretty much the entire West Coast Conference in every significant offensive category. Hendricks at the plate, the left-handed hitter. Carthon leads from second. Thonvold in the stretch. First pitch on the way. Sliced foul out of play to the left side. Hendricks down to the count 0-1.
Interesting approach from Hendricks. He swings on the first pitch. In this scenario, if I'm Coach Roberts, I'm thinking you'd want to have him take a pitch and at least make a strike come down the alley.
Fans calling balk as Thonvold steps off, but he did the proper move. He took the foot off the rubber before turning around. The 0-1 pitch on the way to Hendricks. Hendricks hit that one right to the third baseman, and he bobbles it. Matt Britton bobbles the ball, and safe at first is Brendan Hendricks.
Just off the end of the glove of Matt Britton, has to move to his right by the third base line. Dribbles away into foul ground just ahead of Mike Roberts. They're going to charge an error, the first of the afternoon for Hyannis. And now first and third, the go-ahead run for the Kettleers is at first base.
Jamison Fisher steps to the plate. 0 for 3. Reached on a hit by pitch in the second. And would this be a big Southeast Louisiana two-step if he could somehow drive in both runs here? He would be credited with the game-winning RBIs, and his college teammate Mason Klotz would, despite the poor outing here tonight, be credited with the win.
There's pros and cons of being a closer even when you allow a game-winning or tying run.
First pitch on the way to Jamison Fisher. And a tailing fastball misses high and outside for ball 1.
And Greg, you've mentioned these last few hitters and their on-base percentage, how important it is. Well, 481 this past year at Southeastern Louisiana for Jamison Fisher.
Thonvold in the stretch, taken for a strike. Fastball at the knees. And the Harbor Hawk crowd very happy with that call. Outfield pretty much straight away. And they're playing no doubles. 1-1. Breaking ball misses low. Count to 2-1. Make sure you stick with us for the Kettleers Insider post-game show coming up right after the game. We will have a player on here up in the booth, give you the final totals here, and run you around the league. 2-1 on the way, swing and a miss. Tailing fastball at 90. by Thonvold. And the Kettleers are down to their last strike. 2-2, 2 outs. Harborhawks lead 6-5. Thonvold in the stretch, gets the sign. Pitch on the way, breaking ball misses low, and the count goes to full 3-2. On deck is Jake Fincher. But Fisher has to keep the line alive before we can get to Superman, as he's been affectionately known in Katuitt for his full body slides. Thonvold looks at first. Sets at the belt. The payoff on the way. Ring him up. Strike 3 called. And that's the ball game. Fisher can't believe it, but Thonvold can. The Hyannis Harborhawks have taken the first 2 games of the season and the first 2 games of the Barnstable Patriot Cup. They win here tonight at Lowell Park by a 6-5 final. Make sure you stick with us. Kettleers Insider Postgame Show coming up next.
Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies such as ZigTech, RealFlex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. It's time for the Kettleers Insider Postgame Show on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. With a wrap on tonight's game, here's Greg Moraz and Brendan Glasheen.
Not the night that the Kettleers were hoping for, certainly not the night that they expected. After they took the lead back in the bottom of the 8th, it was a back-and-forth game. Kettleers got a run in the first, 3 runs in the second. Hyannis immediately came back and scored 2 in the third. Then it was pretty much a scoreless ball game until Hyannis struck for 2 in the top of the 7th. Give the credit on that to Bobby Melly, bringing in both Cam Gibson and Kyle Servance. After that, the Kettleers were able to hold the Harborhawks in the top of the 8th, but a clutch single by D.C. Arendis after Jake Fincher had stolen second base after a leadoff walk. And he was able to come in and give the Kettleers the lead back at 5-4. But the 9th was very ominous for the Kettleers. It led off with a Cam Gibson strikeout, but then that's where it got a little bit shaky. Kyle Servance singled. Daniel Keeley was hit by a pitch on the first pitch that Mason Klotz threw. A.J. Minter was pulled after the single by Servance. Bobby Melly then hit a sac fly that moved Servance over the third. And that left 2 outs for Ben DeLuzio, who got a fastball on the outer half and didn't miss. He sent it out into the right center field gap. And that was pretty much all she wrote for this one. Give credit on the RBIs tonight. Ben DeLuzio had 2 big ones. Bobby Melly, as we mentioned, had 2 big ones on that single that tied the ball game. For the Kettleers, D.C. Arendis continues his hot start. He had another pair of hits here today for the Kettleers. He now has 5 hits in his first 7 at-bats on the season. Jake Fincher is back in full form in 4 at-bats this season. He is 3 for 4, 2 for 3 on tonight's ball game, with a pair of runs scored, a pair of base hits, and a walk. Winning pitcher here tonight is Sarkis Ohanian. He improves to 1-0. The loser is A.J. Minter. He gives up 3 runs in 2 1/3 innings pitched, and credit the save to Lance Thonvold. Kettleers fall to 0-2. Harborhawks improve to 2-0 on the season. Not only that, they take the first 2 games of the Barnstable Patriot Cup, and very rare that you see the Barnstable Patriot Cup have this many games completed this early in the season. And now it's time for our last Coca-Cola Around the League scoreboard check. Final from Stony Brook Elementary in 2 hours and 21 minutes, friends. Harwich beat Brewster 10-0. Mariners improve to 2-0. Whitecaps fall to 1-1. Falmouth gets back to a 500 record, a 3-0 win over YD. The YD Red Sox fall to 0-2. Bourne Braves trying to improve to 2-0. Orleans trying to get their first win of the season. But it's been a good one out at Doran Park, and Bourne top of the 8th. And neither team has scored. And bottom of the 3rd out at Veterans Field in Chatham. And the Wareham Gatemen lead the Chatham Anglers 3-0. We will see the Wareham Gatemen tomorrow here at Lowell Park. And now it is time for our player of the game. Jeremy Taylor is with us now. And Jeremy, obviously today, this was a performance that many people thought that the Kettleers were going to end up winning. You gave it pretty much all you had out there all game long. You had 2 hits, you scored a run, you did pretty much everything you could defensively, but, are you still satisfied with the performance despite the loss?
Well, I'm never satisfied, but I'm just going to go out there each day, just try and put the ball in play, and I know if I don't strike out, I have a chance to get a hit. But as a team, we just need to polish, like Coach Roberts said, and we'll be fine because these past 2 nights, we know that we should have won both of these games.
You had a big day, of course, finding a way to get on base most of the time, but talk about the effort from Hyannis' Nick Deeg, what he was doing, a lefty hurler, you're a left-handed hitter. How was it seeing him and reading his pitches?
Well, he started me off with fastballs. He kept it low. But he didn't throw me many. He threw me a lot of off-speed pitches, so I just made it a conscious effort when I face lefties to stay on the pitch because I know if it starts at me, it's probably going to be a curveball. And if I give up, it'll probably be a strike. So I just try and stay on the off-speed pitches.
2 losses to start the season, 2 run ball games. But, Jeremy, is the attitude of the guys still pretty good because you've played pretty much 7 good innings in each of these past 2 ball games, but then there's just been a couple of pieces here and there, and obviously tonight with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning, Ben DeLuzio, Florida State, a clutch 2 RBI triple. That was the decisive factor, but is the attitude still good in the dugout?
The attitude's still very good. We know that we have great players on this team, and we know that it's not how you start, it's how you finish, so we're just going to keep going out there, giving it our all.
And Jeremy, last thing, you host Wareham tomorrow. Again, you're back here at Lowell Park, 2nd of 3 games at home. I'm sure you guys like being closer to home with 3 straight games here at Lowell Park. So what needs to be done tomorrow to get the job done and get a win in the win column?
We just need to play a full 9 innings. Like y'all said, we played a good 7-inning game yesterday, a good 8 2/3 game today, but we just got to put it all together for 27 outs.
Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
That was our player of the game, Jeremy Taylor, here on the Kettleers Insider Post-Game Show. And before we say goodnight, Brendan Glasheen rejoins us here in the booth, as always. And Brendan, first 2 games of the season, 2 one-run ball games that the Kettleers lost. And unfortunately, there really isn't much that you can do about something like that. But at the end of the day, they're finding ways to stay in ball games. They've had the lead in both ball games for a significant amount of time, but I think this one hurts a little bit more. Obviously, still 2 games into the season, but this one hurts a little bit more because the only time that Hyannis ever led was with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning.
That's it, and they started the game 4-0. All of a sudden, Hyannis crawls back a tad to make it a 4-2 game. They eventually tie the game at 4s. Katuitt then takes the lead back 5-4. And they lose the game on a triple. As Jeremy just said, 8 2/3 was great in this ball game thus far. I think he meant 7 2/3, but either way, the Cotuit Kettleers have been in both games thus far in these first two games against a division rival they played cat and mouse with last year. It's not a surprise to me. It wouldn't surprise me if these two teams meet again at some point down the road, and Cotuit could still find a way to take this season serious. Right now it's early, and like the players have said, like we've both said, they've played great into the second half of games. They've come up short, though, to close them out.
Talk about tomorrow real quick, Brendan. The Wareham Gatemen come to town, and this was a team that not only had a bad season last year, they had a notoriously bad season. As we were checking in on the Coca-Cola of Cape Cod scoreboard update after the ball game, they lead at Veterans Field in the bottom of the third, 3-0. Cotuit took all 6 games that they faced against the Wareham Gatemen last season. Cooper Ferris is a polished manager. He won the Cape League title in 2012. What do you think tomorrow's game is going to be like, considering Wareham's revamped, they've got a new attitude, and they also have a new pitching coach too, from what I've been told, and they just want to get revenge for, obviously, a new group of guys, but 6 losses last season to the same team, that's a bitter taste in everybody's mouth.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, losing 6 games to this same team that won the Cape Cod League Championship last year, a divisional opponent that we'll see tomorrow night here at Lowell Park, it's certainly motivating on Wareham's. And again, a lot of things that I heard last year, much of their roster were Team USA / College World Series players that didn't make their way down to the Cape early enough or late enough at the end of the day when it's all said and done to make a solid year out of it. So they win the Cape League title in 2012. They win just 9 games last season. It's certainly a new taste, a new year, a new everything for this organization. And now they have a lead over the Eastern Division's best record in the regular season in Chatham last year. So I think it's a whole, like you said, it's a revamped roster. It's a new beginning, a new taste in their mouths type of attitude. And it's a different Wareham team. For Cotuit, luckily it plays 3 straight at home, has the opportunity to see and take advantage of the home crowd and get victory number 1.
We thank you all for joining us here on the Kettleers Insider post-game show. Brendan will have the warm-up for you at 4:30, and first pitch set for 5 o'clock here from Lowell Park for the Kettleers and the Wareham Gatemen. Again, the final here tonight. Hyannis beats Cotuit 6-5. Thank you so much for joining us, friends, and we'll see you here again tomorrow night. Good night from Lowell Park.
Thanks for listening to the Kettleers Insider postgame show on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn, Fuller Family Foundation, Curry College, iHealth Services, Cape Cod Healthcare, Coca-Cola, 99 Restaurants, Friendly's Ice Cream, Rockland Trust, Reebok, and the Baseball Factory. For more Cotuit Kettleers coverage, visit www.kettleers.org.
2014 Cotuit Kettleers baseball hits the air in 3,
2, 1.